Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well during this Memorial weekend. So, yeah, we're going to have a continuation on the feminism discussion with my boy Jimmie, because he wanted to talk about this on the last show, but he didn't get a chance to hop on the panel. Yeah. Hey, shout out to LA. He's not here, but okay. So yeah, about feminism. Like I said, I believe in gender equality for both sexes. So I do consider myself a feminist. And no, feminism ain't about hating men. That's not true. It's not even about that. And I don't believe in sugarcoating and shit, or using different terminology. Like, if I believe in something, I'm gonna call it for what it is. And I don't understand why that F word, which is feminism, is considered a bad term. Like, there's so much misinformation out here when it comes to that. And it's a lot that people don't know about feminism. It's like, we should not have to start a conversation off by saying, hey, I'm not a feminist because I love men. Like, what the fuck does that have anything to do with it? Like, if you believe that both sexes should be treated fairly, should get paid the same for the same job, then you're a feminist. I don't understand why we have to skate around shit. Like, I believe just calling shit for what it is. Now, I acknowledge that the first wave of feminism was catering to white women because they were fucking racist. But at the same time, black women were also part of the suffrage movement. So I can't ignore something just because white women want to take credit for shit. That's like saying, I'm not fucking with rock and roll because white people got a hold of it. No, we came up with that shit. Why should we be like, oh, fuck it, we can't have that because white people had their hands on it? No, we can acknowledge the contribution of other black people, black men and black women alike. And not only that, there's women in other countries, third world countries, fighting for women's rights. So I'm not going to come on here and give them credit for shit. Fuck that. What's up, Jimmie?
Not much. Yeah, I wanted to talk. Go ahead. What you were saying?
Yeah, but like,
because I wasn't.
Yeah, white women ain't the end all be all of shit, man. Like, people from other countries been fighting for women's rights. They're not like, and everyone has their brand of feminism and shit. It's just like, my fight ain't the same as it is with a white woman. it's totally different. I'm not beefing with the black man.
No, your fight. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like on my show, first of all, the feminist movement did start with white women. They started it, but that don't mean nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, the movement of feminism, it started with the white women. The black women didn't even have. They wasn't slaves to the household when all that happened. It was the white women. But what I was saying to you was that your plight as a black woman, it's not different than ours because everything works together. Whatever you go through as a black woman, if you're with a black man, it affects us too. Whatever happens to you, you're somebody's daughter. You know what I mean? Sister, cousin. So it affects, we all get affected together. You know what I mean? And when black women say, okay, we're going to go over here and do our feminist thing, then that divides us up. You see what I'm saying? When we should be doing it all under civil rights, we should all be taking care of each other. Even if we're black and gay, even if whatever, you know, like when a black man gets killed by a cop, look at how many of those people that's happened to in front of their spouse and their children. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a black man that's doing right by his baby's mother or his wife, he gets killed. Now the child grows up without a father. The mother's traumatized mentally. And you know what I'm saying? Look at Corrine, what's her name? Corrine Gaines. She got killed by the cops. Even though her family won a lawsuit, those kids are now growing up without a mother. You know what I mean? Look at Sandra Bland. Somebody lost their daughter. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying is separating is bad because look where it doesn't work. No, women's rights should be defended. And I'm not giving the white women the end all credit. I was just saying to you is that it's fucked up because I'm saying those white women use black women to get what they want, but they don't give a fuck about them. No, I'm not sitting here saying white women are the end all be all. Hell no. It just pisses me off because the Me Too movement went on long before Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, and it didn't get the attention it deserved until Harvey Weinstein was doing it to white women. Because it didn't matter that black women has been getting raped for years because of their income. R. Kelly proves that. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. R. Kelly proves that. The feminist movement on R. Kelly should have moved, but the white women wasn't moving it. The white women feminist groups wasn't moving it. And I'm saying to you is I don't think that's fair. I don't think
it's like this is the thing, like how black feminism came about was because, you know, back then, you know, we had a civil movement, we had the black liberation, but you know, it wasn't always perfect because reason being, you know, black women express, you know what, our needs are not being handled. We let's address certain issues affecting black women, and black women didn't have any leadership roles, even though, you know, they were put in work just as much, but they weren't being heard. And so they went to the feminist side. They realized even the white women, they're not being sensitive to.
Hello?
Black women's needs. So they was like feminism and womanism came about.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not giving white women that much credit. They started the feminist movement, but they used black women to get what they want, and then they don't. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is it would work better if we all just came together as, look, we black, I'm black, you black. What happens to you, it happens to me. So fuck all that feminism separating, men separating. We got to do this together. It'll cover more ground and we'll get more shit done and get more attention. Because like I told you, when a black woman gets raped sexually like that, then that's your sister. When a black man gets killed, that's your brother. You know what I mean? Maybe not your brother, but somebody's brother, somebody's son. A mother grows up without her child. And this is fucked up. This is fucked up. And when you separate and say, I'm going to go over here and do my thing as a black woman, that's not healthy. That's not healthy. Because you're somebody's daughter. You know what I mean? if you got killed tomorrow, that's you mean something to somebody.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, that's another misconception. Like, on paper, like, feminism is about gender equality. The thing is, I give a shit what's going on within my race. I give a fuck about the black man, the black woman. I don't give a, like, I'm more concerned about shit going on within my race than the outside. I don't give a damn about what white women doing. I'm concentrating on how things affect me as a black woman and the black man, and if I choose to have children, my black children. Real talk.
Exactly. And that's why together we stand, divided we fall. If we separate, if I'm disagreeing with you and saying, okay, forget you as a feminist, you say, well, if you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. See what I'm saying? Now what we end up with is a problem. And the problem is divide and conquer. That's how America's been controlling everybody, not just black and white, but everybody, by keeping us all divided up and conquered. Almost like the Willie Lynch letter. It's the same principles, but not the exact same setup. And that's the problem. And that's where we gotta draw the line and say, fuck that. You know, if you build let's say you build a black community, right? You can't build a black community or a black neighborhood I can't do it without you. You can't do it without me.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, what I was saying to you was, I don't disagree against women fighting for rights. Women should be fighting for that. But what I'm saying is when you do that, like you just said, white women ain't the end all, so fuck their diagram, and why follow their plan? Because when you do it that way, you're following their plan. But
yeah, and like, I don't go by their fucking standards. I go by shit that's going to be beneficial to our race. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't go by their feminism. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Feminism is what you make it. I don't go by their fucking rules. It's just like in the other third world countries. If you grew up in a Muslim country, you're not going to subscribe to Western feminism. No, you're gonna be concentrate on shit that impacts you, depending on the country, the culture you grew up in.
Yeah. Well,
so they ain't gonna be all for women's rights and shit. Fuck them.
Yeah, but like I said, women's rights, we have to fight for that together. Like I told you, I'm totally for women's rights. It's common sense, and it's fair. You can't build no community without it. We have to do it, but we have to do it together. But like I told you, are you actually that's what I was going to ask you. Like, how do you identify? Are you an actual feminist? Are you part of a feminist group? Or do you just have a feminist point of view? There's, you know what I mean? Like, if that's just your point of view, I'm not going to argue with you about it because you have a right to your point of view. But when it comes time to be active and implement a plan, it should be with black men supporting it. Not because it's because it's a black thing. And black women should be treated a certain way. Because like you said, now don't get it twisted. There are certain groups, black groups out there that still believe, and let's just be realistic. Physically, yeah, men or women are different. But when it comes to certain things, men or women, I mean, come on, man. A woman might run a business better than a man in some instances. That is why we want to have women's rights, because we don't want it to be limited to just men. What happens if the population gets shorted from the number of men, and all of a sudden, and I'm talking not even from a race point of view, but just a world point of view, and women got to handle everything, then what the fuck's going to happen? You know, it's just like there's civilizations and times, and even here, where the women had to become the man and the woman at the house and held down households while their men was out there fighting wars. You know what I'm saying? And it's also good that women can be a part of the military, because that shoots the fuck up out of your numbers in case you have to go there. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. There could be a ground war tomorrow with another country, and we got the women behind us. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, like I said, in talking to you and doing my thing, I don't know how you took it, but I'm saying is, don't change your view. If you want to fight for a certain right, Like, if you got something personally as a woman that you feel needs to be dealt with, do it. But let's do it together. Not you go over there and do your thing. Because like I said, if you are doing it that way, then you are following the white bitches standard. They the ones that did that separation shit. It wasn't us.
But see, that's not even like the way my mindset is. I'm not trying to separate from the black men. What I'm saying is, yo, we got to be able to understand each other. Like, just like how we understand the black man. Like, there's things that we can't neglect because it's affecting our race. Like, for instance, like me as a black woman, you know what I mean? There's things I have to worry about as a black woman because I can't get rid of one or the other. I'm both. I'm black and I'm a woman. Like, for instance, like you see, like when you're pregnant, right? And these motherfuckers don't take your pain seriously. They neglect your health because they don't think pain. They think we don't go through fucking pain. They don't take none of us seriously.
Now who are you talking? Oh, no. Shit, you got it in time. God.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
God. Damn. But when you say they don't take us seriously, who are you talking about?
The medical community. Black women are very neglected when it comes to our health. We have the highest rate of maternity deaths because they don't take our health seriously. They think we can tolerate pain. It's not true.
See, there's a perfectly good example. Now that's an issue.
I have to care about black woman.
Yeah, but that's a good point. But black people, period, we get treated bad because of we're in the inner cities and lower incomes and we get shitty doctors. You don't just see what I'm saying? What affects you affects me because if they're doing that to you, look at the people who end up getting a leg cut off because they can't afford certain medical cares and low income, whereas this person can have the same problem you got and they keep their leg. That's all based on income as well. You see what I'm saying? I know what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. We as black people get treated like shit together. You're right. I'm not going to argue with you about that, but that's where you got to find a group, an organization that specializes in that. But what you're going to find out is that there are groups probably out there right now that are fighting for that because that's been going on for years. Like, because the majority of black people in the inner cities are black, we get shitty medical care, period. You're just being more specific in an exact area. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm not disagreeing with you because
right.
It affects, that's what I'm saying. If something like that affects you, it's going on with us. It's just in a different area in a different way. Think about it. When you hear these inner city hospitals, right, where majority of the black women are going and getting treated like shit, the black man getting treated like shit too. It's just you're getting it, like you said, for when you're pregnant versus, and because they think you could take more pain, and we're getting it because maybe we got shot or beat up by a cop and they don't give a fuck. You're looked at the same way I'm looked at through the medical system. You're looked at the same fucking way. That's why we shouldn't separate. We should be together and deal with the whole spectrum.
No, but I was never for separating us. I'm like, I want us to be together. It's just we need to understand each other. Like, black men and black women, we gotta be able to listen to one another, support each other, respect one another, and not try to silence one another. We have to, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're going through this oppression, man. We should be able to understand one another. Like, I'm sensitive to the black man's needs, but you also have to be sensitive to my needs. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being discriminated against over sexist bullshit, yo, you gotta call that shit out, man. You can't just ignore that because at the end of the day, we supposed to be a help for one another.
But what just happened though? See, but I just gave you an example of what you just said. You just said what you said, and I said we're all in this together. You're still separating, and I'm saying you got to cover the whole picture. You can't just, if you pick a certain area and you divide, it's still, you see what I'm saying? Well, you just said one area, and I said what you're saying is true, but it's because of the income based, and because black people live in the inner cities, we get shitty care together. It's not just you just know of a specific area. But if we do it, the way we fix that is we gotta all come together. Then you gotta sit in the room with a bunch of people and decide which way you want to go. Now, me calling that shit out on video, it don't mean a fucking thing. We could do this and we can agree and have great shows on this topic and agree. But if we're not going to join civil rights groups and get involved, then it's never going to get anywhere. That's what I'm saying.
You see what Randy said? Black men are the ones being oppressed in America, not black women. You see what this is a prime example. How can you ignore black women for being oppressed? We're all being oppressed. Black men and black women are being oppressed, but you make it seem like it's just a black man that's suffering. We're all suffering. That's what I mean by that. But Jimmie, you're one of the ones be like, yo, I'm being sensitive to your needs, which I appreciate. But you see how it is for some of these men's mindset. They're neglecting what black women go through as well. We're all in this together. We're both being oppressed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but when you say you're a feminist, do you see what I'm saying? You're separating yourself. By being a feminist, you're separating yourself. So yeah, he's going to say,
if I'm for equality for all sexes, for both sexes, how can I be dividing if I'm sitting here saying, yo, I'm for equality for both sexes, man. I don't think neither one of us should be discriminated against because of our sex. We should all be able to reach our full potential regardless of our sex.
Yeah. So you do that.
Don't say what's up.
Hey, Bobby.
You do that, but when you, what I'm saying to you is, what's up, Bobby? When the first words that you say is, I'm a feminist.
What's up?
You put yourself in a messed up position to where people aren't going to be sensitive to the needs. But if you say we as black folks need to come together because of our civil rights, we have the right to health care equally. You see what I'm saying? But when you say this and you go into just what now you can use a woman as an example, but go ahead, Bobby. What the hell just happened to Bobby?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you though. When you say you're a feminist, which is a white woman's ideology, you see what I'm saying? You're saying we're black, then you gotta get their fucking ideology out the picture. Fuck their ideology. That's what I'm telling you. But if you hang on to any part of their ideology, you still keep them in power. Because what happens, look at these feminist groups. Like I told you, it was a black woman for years said, me too. And the reason she said me too, because black women were getting treated, they were getting raped and the cops didn't give a fuck. As long as it wasn't a white woman, they didn't care. Plus, what they don't realize is what she was also doing was helping out women, because a man might have raped a woman in 5 different cities, but he's only getting charged for 1. But it's fucked up. It didn't take flight until a white woman stole her saying, put it on Twitter, never had no engagement with no black groups. All her activism has been for white folks, and blew that shit up and took care of her race. Period.
And see, that's what I mean by that. Like, I'm not giving black women been out here for women's rights, trying to address the fact that black women get sexually abused, man, and sex trafficked. We get sex trafficked. I'm not gonna give a white woman credit for that shit. Black women been fighting for women's rights, so I like to acknowledge. To me, as a feminist, I like to acknowledge when a black woman's in the trenches trying to make a fucking difference. I'm not giving white women credit for shit.
What I'm saying to you is, once again, I just told you it was a black woman that started the Me Too movement. What I'm saying to you is, when a black woman separates herself from the black man by doing it as a feminist, it reduces the numbers. It reduces the support. It reduces the interest amongst her race when she does that. You see what I'm saying? So what ends up happening is a white female activist, and I've noticed this too. When a white female activist who's into everything for her race steals that woman's shit. How am I saying? See what I'm saying? I'm not giving her credit. I'm saying there's something wrong, and the way that it's being followed and dealt with ain't working. Calling yourself a feminist as a black woman, it ain't gonna work. And that's why it's where it's at now. We're separated. That's why you have the Tommy Sotomayers able to live fat off of this type of shit, this separationist type thinking, and it has to stop.
But is it really separation? Or are we just addressing issues, that impact us? I mean, we address the black man's issues. We address. I mean, why when we talk about when we're within our race, why is it considered separation if we speak on issues, impacting black women? It's affecting.
I just said, not when you not saying you are supposed. Oh my God, block that motherfucker.
Gosh.
Block. You should have blocked him.
Yeah,
God, damn, man. But where you at, Bobby Norris? But anyway, shit. This man. What I'm saying to you is, when you say feminist in front of that, you're separating yourself when you do that. And that's what I'm saying. When you say feminist, you're separating yourself. You say don't give white women credit. I'm not giving white women credit. I'm saying don't even call yourself a feminist, because that's their movement that they started, and they use black women to get it going and spark. They used y'all to increase the numbers to spark it, and then said, fuck y'all. Okay, now we got our own thing. And re-separated from y'all. That's why there will have to be black women separating themselves, but they should have been separated from the white woman. If we come together, that increases the numbers, that increases the intention, and we get something done. But we don't get nothing done if women separate. Okay, if you got a room and you got 1,000 people in it, and 700 of those black, and it's all black people, and 700 of them are black women, and 300 are black men, and 700 are fighting for rights, but they're saying we're feminists, we're separate for y'all. There's 3,000 people you're leaving out. And you may not get all 3,000 men, but that might be an extra 1,000 that could be involved. You see what I'm saying? You should talk about your plight. You should discuss your problem, but not as a feminist, as a black human being. Because I should know what's going on. But if we're not communicating, see, when you say feminist, automatically most men mentally shut down and say, fuck it, fuck you, go over there. It creates an automatic shutdown. See what I'm saying? When you label yourself a feminist, you separating and you're shutting down men. Nobody will even listen to the rest of what you got to say when you say you're a feminist.
What up, y'all?
Bobby.
You see what I'm saying now?
But this is the thing, though. Like,
hold on. Make sure Bobby's mic's right. Make sure that's
Bobby. Yeah, Bobby. Are you? Is your mic working?
Yeah, I just came to say what's up.
How are you doing?
You can do that thing with the rappers later this guy.
Man, did you check your messenger?
Yeah.
I already sent that to you.
Oh yeah. My messages are messed up, bro. Okay. But whenever, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. You want to speak on this topic, though?
Yeah.
I can show support. That's it.
Okay. But yeah, Bobby, I already started it. I already got like volume 3. You can help me out with volume 4. I started old school and worked my way up. But anyway, back to the top. You see what I'm saying, though, Harley? If you put that label on yourself, it automatically creates separation.
But why though? Because I guess what I'm saying, it's like, okay, this is the thing. Even if we don't call ourselves feminists, we're using talking points that's considered feminist. Like if we just straight up said, I'm for sexes being paid the same for the same job. You just describe yourself as a feminist. Like we ain't calling ourselves feminists, but we're using feminism talking points. Like when we saying shit. Like when women are saying, my body, my choice, that's a feminist tactic, man. So it's still some feminism shit, even if we're not calling it as such. And the thing is, women
not necessarily, because here's the thing too. Okay, you just said equal pay for the work, right?
Yeah. Okay,
so if me as a black man, if I don't own a company and you're not sitting in front of me, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? This is where. But I'm sure that you could easily get most people to agree, hey, That ain't right if a woman's getting paid way less money and she's doing the same work. I think most people will agree that that's ridiculous.
And then the thing is, I can't really discount feminism entirely because I'm gonna tell you, like, just the thing is, we are reaping the benefits of it. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you an example. The fact that we can play sports, women can play sports. The fact that women can hold public office. The fact that we can go get education. The fact we can take on a job that we want. Like, and the fact. Okay. And then another thing, like, you had to get permission to get a credit card if you were married. You couldn't go out here and get a credit card without your husband's permission. So it's a lot of things like I can't be out.
Check this out. I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna do you one better. The best thing that ever happened was women getting equal rights. You know why?
Why?
Because back in the days when men had to work and raise 6, 7 kids, and I know this from my grandfather and my grandmother. Well, my grandfather was on that. Women shouldn't be working. But when he started getting laid off and struggling, and she was working, he realized, damn, this is working out better. That extra income. See what I'm saying? Why the fuck would I not want, especially if I'm married to a black woman, why wouldn't I want her to get paid what she's worth? That's money in the household. See, you're thinking, you're talking, what you're saying is a great ideology if you're dealing with a chauvinist pig motherfucker in the real world out here. But most companies know they can't get away with that now. Why wouldn't I want women to get paid? They can help their black man out. It's less stress on each other when you got two.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, so my thing is this: just because we believe in the tenements of feminism, we don't have to go by their fucking standards. We can self-determine what the fuck we want. We don't have to go by white people's standards.
No, we don't, and it's not necessarily white people's standards. What I'm saying to you is, I'm just giving you the heads up on a lot of these organizations that are black get ignored and get played, and then they sell out by letting the white women use their shit. That white bitch should have been sued for using the Me Too thing since they can document it, because they get to take your shit, run with it, give you no credit, get their movement going, and then your movement still gets ignored.
Oh yeah, and don't forget how this mic thing is echoing.
Whose mic is?
Yeah, who's echoing? Yeah, Silent J.
I can't even hear Silent. Now I can hear him.
Yeah, hey.
Because another thing, that is not true about the equal pay. Then now women are getting paid more than men in our community. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, that was something else I was going to tell you too. If you're a black woman and you're on like a fixed income or on any kind of welfare or have multiple babies, you can get a job easier than me, because it gets you off the system. And a lot of companies will hire you because they get a huge tax credit for that. For like 10 years, the first 10 you start.
You're a double minority too. So they get to hire a woman and the minority. So you'll get hired before us.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all do have opportunities. That's why I said y'all do have opportunities. But it shouldn't just stop at one area. Because every time you fix one problem, another problem for black women gonna come up.
And I believe the feminist thing was to divide us. It was when we was all together, that was the problem they had with themselves. And they getting into our stuff, and now we got problems.
And that all started back in the 70s when black men were getting put out of work and people were getting laid off. And they told the woman, we'll help you out with everything, but that man can't be there. You got to separate from that man. And like I said, that
has nothing to do with feminism, though. That has more to do with the government trying to divide and shit. That don't got nothing to do with feminism.
No, it's a work.
You don't think that the government knew when they did that?
I think that had more to do with the government.
Go ahead, Silent.
No, it's a both thing. So they will fire us then at the same time offer y'all money, so then y'all will take it. You know what I'm saying? It was a bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? So it was a setup.
You don't think the government knew that there was a feminist movement and by black women having that ideology? If we can separate the household, it'll set something up that'll screw them up for the next 50 years, at least.
I think honestly, I think it was mainly the government's doing, just like how the government had something to do with the war on drugs and shit. That was just their way of trying to throw black men in prison and shit for that. It was really war on black men, but they wasn't gonna say that, so that's why they started the whole war on drugs bullshit.
But Harley, always remember this concept. If you remember this concept, you know how the engine works. It's called divide and conquer. What we're telling you is feminism, with the combination of certain little things like what I just told you, it leads to dividing and conquering. And then when we follow that script, we're fucked up for years, and it goes down through the children's and it goes down through the race. We have to do things together, not just as couples, not just in relationships, but as family, as friends.
And all the white feminists did with y'all was they just wanted y'all for the numbers. They didn't care about none of y'all problems. They just wanted y'all for the numbers.
But see, we know that. We know they used us as a fucking mule. They've been doing that shit for years. The thing is, we're just trying to take back and concentrate on shit going on in our black race. Shit
we take it back by
and all that shit.
And we take it back by realizing that what affects you affects us, and that you don't have to identify as a feminist, and I don't have to say screw the black woman. We have to identify. It's divide and conquer. You see what I'm saying?
But at least Jimmy, you acknowledge that we're both being impacted. Like some of these men, they just have this mentality like, oh, only black men are being oppressed. No, we're both being oppressed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, we're all.
That's when you say stuff like that, you're dividing the race because you're not acknowledging that what you go through as a black man is impacting me as well. So why would you sit over here and ignore certain things that impact me as a black woman? Why would you ignore that? We're all being impacted.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Like, acknowledge that we're both going through shit, man. It's not just you that's being oppressed, and that's the problem. This is why Black feminism was created, because you can't have that mentality thinking, oh, only things impact me as a black man. No, we're both being affected, and we need to address all of it that's impacting both of us, period.
I agree.
That's dividing when you're solely concentrating on what's impacting you as a black man. When fuck it, we're both going through shit. What you mean just the black man? We're both suffering here. So I respect Jimmy for acknowledging, whatever happens to one party affects us and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is, be sensitive to my needs as well, man, because I'm going through shit. I'm going through shit as a black woman. We all going through it, man. Just like how I'm sensitive to a black man. Like, I actually spoke. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, all this talking about, if you're a feminist, you hate men. How, when I have advocated for men, I have sit over here and brought up how y'all can't even express y'all feelings and shit. I brought up the fact that people don't take y'all seriously if y'all been abused by a woman or been raped by an older woman. If you're a boy, I've been saying shit like that. So I acknowledge the shit that boys and men go through. So why is it if I bring up, shit that I go through as a woman or girls, period, like I'm on some dividing shit? No, I'm addressing everything. What's wrong with that, man? So I'm far from being a man hater when I have sit over here and, this is another thing, like, even when I had that topic about fathers, I wanted y'all to have a voice. I wanted men that are fathers to address this topic. I'm not one of these people that's going to censor y'all. You know what I mean? So So how can I be a man hater just because I say that I think that both sexes should be treated fairly? You know what I mean? What's wrong with that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something because I just listen to everything you're saying, and you got to be more specific of who's saying what and what because.
Okay, like this person in chat room, they said I'm for black men because I'm a black man.
I was gonna say I haven't called man hater yet.
No, this is just no. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm talking about like the misinformation. Like some of these men, they think like if you say you're a feminist and you automatically hate men when it's not even about that. Nah, man, we just believe in equality of the sexes. How do I hate a man when I'm just straight up saying, yo, I just believe in equality of sexes? How is that hating man? How is that causing division, man? If I'm saying both parties deserve equality.
Well, like I told you, I never said it makes you a man hater, but it does promote separation. Like I said, don't get me wrong, feminism, it was necessary at the time when it really began. But we've come so far since then. And what happens is when we come far in one area, now, like Styla just told you, you're a double minority, you have an advantage on the job, but the problems change, the problems evolve, and you got to be able to keep up with that. We got to understand that, you know what I mean? The situation changes constantly. If we fix one problem with the black woman, 3 more arise. We got to always be aware of that. And that's your job.
Let me respond to this Randy person. No, feminism isn't about hating men. It's about equality of the sexes. It's not about hating men. No. I don't hate men. I'm for equality of the sexes. There's a lot of misinformation out here when it comes to feminism. Like, just because you identify as a feminist don't mean you automatically hate a man. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man. When I was asking those questions on her other feminist show, those were some of the questions I see a lot of black women ask and talk about a lot, especially those within the pro-black, sectors on YouTube. That was really my origin before that other shit. But yeah, these pro-black movements, or some of these pro-black men, however you want to word that, they only feel that once you're pro-black, once you consider yourself pro-black or you support pro-black movements, that your concern is black men and whatever they feel is should be the issues that should be addressed and that they should deal with. They don't feel that no one else within those pro-black groups should have a voice or a say if it does not pertain to whatever they feel is whatever benefits them. You know what I mean? Like police brutality. If you are only focused about black men getting killed and not no other group within the black race, then you could have a voice. You see what I'm saying? But if you say, well, black women have died at the hands of the police too, then you might get a negative response sometimes. Or you could say, or they'll say, yeah, well, that's not at the rate that black men get killed by the police. Like, they try to silence the black woman's voice whenever we bring up other things that are issues within our own race.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by that. We shouldn't be silencing each other. We listen to the black man. We've been doing this for decades. All we're asking for is, you know what, be sensitive to our needs as well, just like we're sensitive to your needs, because we're both going through the same shit. So for you to sit over here and say, oh, things are only impacting black men, and you're totally ignoring other people within your race, you're ignoring the black woman, and we're not gonna, and that's causing.
Like I told you earlier, if a black man says that black women ain't getting killed, you got to be a stupid motherfucker. Like I said, because look at Kareem Gaines, look at Sandra Bland, look at that Brianna girl down in Kentucky, and like I said, look at these black women who are watching their men that they have babies with get killed. You know what I mean? Look at what's his name, Eric Garner. His wife watched that. She watched the video If you don't think that we're in this together and that's not affecting anybody that tells you that it's a separatist issue is out of their fucking, it's stupid to even believe that. Because even though y'all may not be getting killed in the numbers, it's still affecting the house. It's still affecting the home. That's any group that's crazy.
And not only that, Black women been getting sexually abused for centuries. Like, what the fuck? Like, Black women were abused and shit. And all I'm doing is like giving the voiceless a voice, man. It needs to be said. It needs to be talked about, man.
Mm-hmm. I remember I did a stream about that a while back, and I got a lot of negative backlash for it because a lot of these pro-Black guys, they only care about their image. If whatever we're saying and doing makes them look bad, they don't want to address anything else. That is a problem, but one of the ways they silence Black women from talking about it is, oh, well, white men do it more. Why the fuck should we care about these other communities? What about the Black community? Black women and children are in the Black community.
A lot of these pro-Black guys are not really pro-Black.
That's what I'm saying. They're pro-Black, me. They ain't for the Black race as a whole. They worry about themselves. And my thing is, you're not really pro-Black, because the point of being pro-Black, you care about the betterment of the Black race as a whole. You care about what's going on with the Black man and the Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Freddie.
Yeah, I think you're wrong about feminism, Holly.
What am I wrong about?
What's the definition of feminism?
Feminism is that you believe in equality of the sexes. You believe in equality of the genders.
Yeah, but as of now, you have more rights than a Black man. You do know that, right?
In what way?
I'll give you one example.
You're a double minority.
Do you know women get less time for abusing children?
Oh, yeah. That's another thing. See, I'm a feminist, but you see how I acknowledge certain things that men go through that women don't have to worry about. But that's not even the feminism fault. That's patriarchy. That's why I say patriarchy has did a number on both of us, because they stereotype women as being incapable of doing shit. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit gender stereotypes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you know that women have more rights than men.
Yeah, when it comes to citizen, yeah, okay, of course.
Just want to make sure, because JIMMIE, you was making it seem like women have it just as hard as us. Oh no. I know all women that are. Yeah,
the thing is, like, I acknowledge what men go through as well. I mean, it's not one of them things where, I mean, there's certain things that women don't have to deal with, but that man does, and vice versa. A man can't even express his emotions. They have to go by strict gender rules. You see how a woman can express a variety of emotions, but a man can't. And if they do, they're seen as a pussy. And I say that's wrong, man. That's what I'm saying. Feminism can do society good, because men need to be able to have an outlet to express themselves.
I guess I don't know. Who's that on the line?
Andy.
You got to cover your screen, Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's up there. You might need to kick them out.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Mash is Jay Black. Miss Mash.
Okay.
Hey, Jay Black.
Who's the other person?
Yeah, this person. That's that Randy person who was bigging up.
You got to cover your screen, man.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was saying, what do you think about like females getting like 2 years from molesting children, while men get like a lifetime?
I think double standards, that's some bullshit, because if it's wrong for a grown ass man to molest kids, it's wrong. I addressed that on my other show. I said how it's the double standards, how older women, when they rape boys, they get less time. I brought that up. And the thing is, and that really has nothing to do with feminism. That has more to do how society treats men and women. society treats men like they want sex 24/7. Nah, a guy does not want to fuck 24/7. But you see how patriarchy has done a number on both parties.
So Harley, you're saying, right?
They don't believe that men could be.
So you're telling me, right? You're telling me if society treats women just as harsh as men, you guys won't complain. You're going to be happy? Oh no, you won't be happy. You love these.
But this is the thing. Like I acknowledge that
you acknowledge
they treat women like they're not capable. They treat women like they're dainty, like they're incapable of doing shit.
You guys love that.
I don't love it. I'm a woman, and I know that it's bullshit. Women are not dainty. They're just as capable of doing shit as the next person.
Yo, to the men on the line, right? Be honest. Women love that shit. Women take advantage of that shit. Why are the men quiet?
What do you mean of take advantage of their situation?
Yeah, men paying for dates, on and on and on. They're not spending money. They love that shit. Women don't really want equal rights. Trust me on this one.
Okay, that's just courtesy, though. I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
of course, it's courtesy.
You don't have to. It's just courtesy.
You see what I mean, Jimmy? They pick and choose which rights they want.
So then,
they pick and choose.
Okay for a woman to pay for the first date and open the door for me?
Oh hell no! You see, Harley, you guys want to be the lesser gender when it benefits you, right?
And like LD was saying too. Okay, if I have a child with a woman, but I'm capable of taking care of it, why does she get all the control and I don't? Automatically, the woman gets full custody.
No, I don't agree with that. I agree that things should be best. I believe that we should be thinking of the children. I don't believe that a woman is automatically fit to be a parent. No.
What Freddie is pointing out to you is if we start getting into equal rights, then that means you got equal responsibility and equal headaches when it comes to a whole lot of things.
But you see how I'm being fair, because I mean that's the definition of feminism, right? Equality of the sexes.
We are not equal.
Yeah, we're not equal.
Okay. I know we're not equal as far as biologically goes. But no. Okay, are you saying that a man and a woman shouldn't be paid the same for the same job? No. That's what I mean by that.
Because y'all don't do the heavy work and stuff. The man is the one that's building the bridges, the buildings, the construction. We're doing all the hard labor. So how is it that y'all want to be paid the same as men doing less work? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, but do you know that women, while y'all were in war during World War II, that women took up jobs that you all had previously had? We were keeping the economy going. So it's been done before.
That's not true. It was men.
No, I'm talking about World War II. You all had to go to war, and women had to take over jobs y'all previously had. And when y'all came back, y'all got y'all jobs back. We had to build airplanes for y'all to go to war with and all that stuff. I mean, women were doing the heavy lifting while y'all was in war because we was keeping the economy going.
I disagree. Women never built no planes and did the heavy work. That's a lie. I'm sorry to say it. No disrespect, but I'm being honest. Women are not physically strong to build planes and stuff. That's not true.
They did build planes. Remember you saw the video? They even have video proof of women building stuff. Not all women can do it, but some women can, and they was doing it. And then they did have. I'm
not saying that we're equal as far as biologically go. I'm talking about just as far as both parties should not be discriminated based off their sex. That's all I'm saying. But we're not the same as far as biologically goes because you all can't carry a child. We can. You are stronger than y'all physically are stronger than us.
My point is we're different. We will never ever be equal. How can two different genders be equal? It's just a pointless.
I don't think we're equal as far as biologically go. What I'm saying is I don't think we should be discriminated against based off our sex.
Me either, but that's just
That's
how
what
it
I mean by that when I'm for equality. That's what I mean by that. I'm not talking about on a biological standpoint. No, we're different now.
is. Even outside that, we just have to be different. Won't you agree? How can we be treated equally? That doesn't make any sense. That would be a weird world, right, Holly? What you think?
Harley,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, are
Yeah.
you speaking for yourself or women in general?
As far as what goes.
As in not feeling that you being treated equally with men? Like, is there something you feel you're not receiving as a woman, yourself personally? Or is it just women in general?
Personally, I have dealt with sexism and racism.
But in regards to the sexism, what do you feel you didn't get or you're not receiving that you feel that you should have gotten personally?
Well, at times I experience being silenced when I express, things that I'm dealing with. Would
you say it's because you were a woman or because maybe you were dealing with rude people?
That's a good question. Because men are silenced too.
Because when I don't want to hear,
men always men are allowed to speak. I mean, it just seems like if a woman, speaks on things, she gets silenced, if you will.
But the thing is,
I think that everyone has I feel that both parties can express their feelings.
Of course, but the thing is, in my real life, a lot of people have called me rude, men and women, because if I don't want to hear something or I don't want to hear from a particular person, they can say I can be quite nonchalant, but it's not because I'm sexist. It can be because of the individual. Whereas if it's another woman and a man who I might have more of a rapport with, or I might have a bit more respect for them, then how I treat them would be a lot different to how I treat someone else. So do you think perhaps, because personally, I think that people should deal with themselves individually. Like, you shouldn't put a label on yourself like you're a feminist or anything. You should just deal with what's going to improve your life personally, not other people. So don't speak up for other women because you might find yourself in a position where you feel you've always spoken up for women, you've tried to help, and then you're going to come across someone that's a bitch and doesn't care. And you're going to be like, well, you could have been doing so much more for yourself personally, but you were out there thinking about other people. It's just like pro-black people. They might try and label me just because I speak up for black people every now and then. It's not going to be the center of my life. I wouldn't put a label on it. I'd only speak up for black people because I just happen to be black, so I think it might benefit me somewhere along the line. Whereas if I wasn't black, I wouldn't care, you see?
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
So just don't put a label on yourself. If there are things you don't like and you feel that someone's not listening to someone because they're a woman, I personally, I don't know. I just some might say it's selfish, but in all honesty, that's the best way to live your life because you only have one life. So all these women, the suffragettes, and all these women that died for other women, like, I don't know, being trampled by horses and all that kind of stuff. In the grand scheme of things, does anyone even remember their name, really?
Yo, Jay Black, that's a good point. Harley, you got to like name a situation where you needed more rights. It's like a case by case thing. Name a situation where you wanted more rights. So women hold high positions now. I don't see where you guys are lacking.
Okay, I can give a couple of examples. The fact that the government polices when we have a baby and shit. Why should the government have a say of what a woman can do with her body?
Isn't it like a health issue?
That's the state
I always thought it was a
I'm
health
not just
issue.
saying like it's a woman it should be between the woman and the doctor. Why does the government have a say of what a woman can do with her body?
I'm very
Can't you
sure it's
just
like a
take
health
a-
issue.
Can't you just take a morning after pill?
Yeah. I'm very sure it's like a health issue.
I'm just saying, like in general, like the thing is, I believe that a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. Like you should be able to
Well, you can. Don't go to the doctor.
but the government tries to put all these stipulations. I'm just talking about women who want to get an abortion, right? I feel if that's what you want, you should be able to. And I feel that a woman should be able to choose how she want to give birth.
You think it should be a limit on how many women can get?
Do I think it should be a limit?
Yes.
See, personally, I mean, no matter how I may feel about it, I mean, she has a right to make her choice. It's her body. She's the one.
If she's not taking care of the kids, though, and I don't know, she's leaving them to be abused or whatever, then surely she should be sterilized. Actually, here's the point. Here's what I was just thinking.
Giving children up to someone else.
Yeah, sorry, Harley. This is what I was thinking. When you said that women should be able to do what they want with their bodies, like in regards to getting rid of the kids if they don't want it. So I was just thinking, if a man doesn't want a kid and the woman wants the child, say if a man punches her in the stomach to get rid of it, what would you think about that? Should he get arrested for murder, killing the child?
Tough question.
The thing is, this is the thing. See, it all goes back to biology. I mean, y'all not the one carrying the child. She is.
But he doesn't want it, because the thing is, the responsibility will be on him financially. Whereas I'd imagine the woman would be assisted by the government if she just didn't want to work, whereas he'd be put in prison. So if he's trying to think about the rest of his life, if he doesn't want it, then if he does push you down the stairs or even poison you just to get rid of it, then what's the real difference between him doing that and then you, I don't know, just going to get an abortion?
Yeah,
if you didn't take
because
it
it's the woman's body. I mean,
yeah,
it would
it's a woman's
be
body, but it's a man's responsibility.
Why can't he decide?
Because okay, you have to blame now biology. Y'all not the one carrying a baby.
Okay, here's an even better one. I was just thinking actually. So if you can go to the doctor to get rid of a baby you don't want, why can't he just kill you if he doesn't want the baby?
And then people are gonna tell y'all should have protected yourselves if you didn't want to.
Then I could say, if he tries to break your neck, you should have learned self-defense, and we could just keep going over and over who should have done what. But it's not really fair if you can just go to the doctor, because morning after pills I believe in. But if you're a woman so lazy and so irresponsible that she leaves it to a point where she's been pregnant for ages and then she actually has to go to a real doctor to get it removed, that's someone that's not a responsible individual. And I just think it's disgusting that a woman would have that kind of option. And it's kind of strange for a woman to say they want the option to be able to terminate a child way into the pregnancy instead of just taking the morning after pill.
This is the question.
I'm for, but this is the thing. I'm for morning after pill. Like this is the thing. I can speak on how I personally feel, but I can't dictate what the next woman does. I mean,
exactly, and this is the problem. Honey, this is the problem. Remember when I said to you that are you speaking for yourself or are you speaking for other women? And you shouldn't label yourself. And you just said yourself that you can't dictate what other women do, but you're calling yourself a feminist. And I did say, are you speaking for yourself or other women? Because you should only speak for yourself. Because a lot of these problems with people who label themselves feminists, they end up arguing with men about saying, oh, well, I wouldn't do this. I'm not like those ones. Or, well, then you shouldn't label yourself as a feminist. You should just say that speak for yourself. Then you won't find yourself having these kind of arguments with people trying to explain to them how you're different to other women who also claim they're feminists but have more extreme views than you or are very unfair, because you're just putting yourself under one umbrella.
Thank you, Jay Black. That's what I was telling her. If we do civil rights or even as an individual, when you put yourself as a feminist, you put you limit yourself. So, and men, why would men help feminists?
And that's why, again, I've never went back in the days when I used to make videos sticking up for black guys, and I was against anyone talking shit saying black people need to be murdered. People would try and say I was pro-black. They would say, "Oh, you're pro-black. Why are you saying this?" I've never said I'm pro-black. I'm pro-me. You see, anything I think is going to benefit me personally, I'll do. But I'm not going to be marching or anything else. I'd rather just deal with situations as and when they come. You see what I mean? It's just like you're sticking up for feminists, but there are a lot of races who will call themselves feminists, but all they care about is their particular race. So they'll take anything that you do. In fact, here's one. Now, you know when black women used to twerk and all that kind of stuff, and it was considered animalistic? Yeah?
Right,
and
yeah.
It was wrong. Now, if you go on YouTube, you'll have a bunch of white ladies who have classes. They run classes in the real world as well. They're getting paid to teach women how to twerk. These are white women. So black women are going out there doing stuff for free, teaching other races how to do stuff. They got all the mud slinged at them. And these other races have now monetized it, and they've built livings from it. They didn't care about the color issue. Women need to stick together. And they joined in when people were saying that black women were trash and they were animalistic doing the twerking. They weren't defending black women to say, oh, that's wrong. It's a woman's right to movement, or a woman's right to do with her body. So you see why you shouldn't just go out of your way to do things for a bunch of other people. You should do for yourself.
No, the thing is, I don't go by their rules. This is how I personally feel. I don't speak for other women. Like I don't give a shit.
But you call yourself a feminist.
But that's just this thing is it's just a way of labeling yourself. Okay, if you're for it, I mean, let's be real. We live in a labeling society. It's like, okay, it's just like if you enjoy I don't know, like fucking Star Trek, you would refer to yourself as a fucking nerd, right? It's just a way of, something. You're just labeling yourself something that interests you. I mean, we live in a label society.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if I was a Trekkie, I like Star Trek. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm a nerd. Because say if 80% of people who are Trekkies, they don't like black people and they don't think black people, other races, should be involved, then I wouldn't be able to. It's hard to explain to you. Sorry, not to you. I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner. I'm just saying, if you've put yourself in a certain label and something, calling yourself a feminist, that's just got a load of negative connotations to it. So you're just going to constantly be attacked by multiple people. And I do understand what you're saying, because I know from what I've heard of you, you're not like the kind of feminists a lot of people are thinking of. These are the unfair ones who, if they see, I don't know, a man beating up a woman, they'll, even though he's defending himself, they'll say, oh, he needs to go to jail, whatever. But at the same time, if they see a woman hitting a man, they'll be clapping, they'll get their phones out and say girl power and all that kind of stuff. I know, you're
and I've spoken out against that, and I'm not
exactly. You're not like that at all. But the thing is, you've labeled yourself these kind of people, and that's why I think some of these attacks from I know what it is, so you no need to take anything I say personally. But the thing is, I think you're getting labeled these attacks, and because it's easy for people you've put yourself in a kind of. Well, you've put yourself in a certain, what's the word? You've cast yourself anyway in a certain way.
Like
so
a brand.
You've branded yourself as something which you really are not. You're just a woman that just wants things to be fair. But a feminist, if you look at what a lot of them are really about, they don't want things to be fair. And I understand if you're looking at the word itself, what it's meant to mean. But the thing is, the people who have co-opted it, they're not about what it's meant to mean. Just like, say, Black Lives Matter. But then you have a load of, I don't know, they say Antifa, all these other, you even have racist people going on the marches just to cause trouble, just so that these people can be seen as bad. So they'll label themselves, yeah, we're part of BLM, we're trying to, but they're not. They're totally different people. But they've decided to label themselves as something because it's easy to do. So you're a decent woman, but you've decided to label yourself something which has a negative connotation. And no matter how much you say you're not like these other people, the fact is it's just going to be easy to just say that you are. You're one of these people. Why are you following these people? Why? You'll see what I mean. Anyway, I think this is just going to be one of these things where you're going to constantly be attacked. It's just one of these things, and it's not you're going to be attacked
because it's
for
a
your own
little bit. Let's be real. The whole feminism topic is controversial. A lot. It's a lot of misinformation. I guess what I'm saying. Am I living up to the true definition? They like feminism. They say we're for the equality of the sexes. All I'm doing is just living up to that term in theory. If it's about equality of sexes, it should mean just that, right? Just like how we say we're pro-black because we're for the betterment of black people. So if you're pro-black, you should be for the betterment of all black people, not just.
But do you know what equality would mean? That would be like, I don't know, in a UFC fight, you'd have men and women in the same weight class, just beating each other up. You know that wouldn't be fair.
Fuck no. That's what I'm saying. We're not the same biologically. I just think we should be treated we shouldn't be discriminated against as far as sex goes. But no, I don't think we're equal as far as biologically goes. Physically,
but
no.
To treat you nicer and to recognize that you're physically weaker would be discrimination. So it's a positive discrimination, but it's discrimination nonetheless. So what you'd be saying is that you want positive discrimination, not negative discrimination.
Okay, for example, like when I say that I'm for equality of sexes, like I think a guy should be a nurse. Like if that's what you want to do, and if a woman wants
a guy can be a nurse. There are plenty of nurses that are men.
I know, but this is okay. But this is, you know how if it's, you know, nurses are like considered but it shouldn't be that way because
Harley, that's like a personal thing.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is they give men shit for taking on certain career fields like nurses and shit like that.
It's a case by case thing. No one looks down on male nurses in the USA.
Or a man that chooses to be a hairstylist.
No, they don't. Not in the USA.
No label. They like ignorant people would label that guy gay, but that's not true.
Yeah,
if he's not gay, what does it matter?
If you're homophobic. It's a case by case thing. What does it have to do with our feminism?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's what I mean when I say, you know, we shouldn't give men shit for. That's what I mean. Like, okay, I don't like, for instance, like, it's all these bullshit gender stereotypes. Like, okay, if a guy wears a pink outfit or a pink shirt, oh, he's gay. What the fuck is just a fucking color? And mind you, the color blue was considered a feminine color. It wasn't always pink. So,
but Harley, these are just ignorant people. That you know what it would be like. It's just like, say I'm in an interracial relationship. Yeah. So some people would say, "Oh, you're only with this person because of this," or "You're big." They don't know why I'm with the person unless I tell them. So people can come to their own conclusions as to why I do what I do or why I've done what I've done. But that's their business. Just like what I do with my woman's my business. It's not something that I think to say, you know, like, hey, we need to be treated equally and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter who you're with or what you're doing. Someone's always going to have an opinion. Some of it's going to be positive or negative. But the thing is, a lot of what you're complaining about, for instance, if a man wants to be a nurse, if you've got some ignorant guy that wants to make fun, someone with that kind of mentality, an ignorant person like that, it's not like they're going to be in a place of power where they can have a real effect over that individual's life. The worst they can do is make fun of him, or someone wearing a pink shirt. You know, you're not going to be able to change other people and say, hey, you shouldn't make fun of men who wear pink shirts, or men who, I don't know, stay at home while the woman works or anything like that. It's just not that important. I don't think it is anyway. because you're just not going to change everyone's mind, and you shouldn't feel the need to, because not many people should matter to you. You see, like personally, I don't think you're going to be able to come with many examples of how you being a woman is really having a negative impact on you. But you might be able to give me some extreme examples of other women, on your opinion on maybe another woman's not being treated correctly or whatever. But I can come up with reasons, I don't know, men that have been treated like shit. But I wouldn't then say, hey, men need to be treated better, because I think men and women, for the most part, are treated equally. I mean, some of the most successful people I have known in my real life are actually women. I know that's anecdotal evidence, but then I'm sure I could come across a lot of other people who would say the same thing. A lot of the successful people they know are actually women. So I'm not seeing this this big sexist divide where women aren't being treated good enough. Because if anything, I'd say women are being treated very good. Better than men are treated in certain things. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of men that would love to be treated like women, I don't know, when they're in front of a judge or something like that. It's just, I think it evens itself out. Yes, maybe men are treated good in some ways, but I think women, for the most part, the ways they're treated better in outweigh the way men are treated better in. So it kind of evens itself out, I think, anyway.
I think
The thing is, no one should care about what society thinks. It's just my way of acknowledging the difference. You know what I mean? Let's be real. See, it all depends on where you're living. But I know here, like, if a guy says, "Oh, I'm a nurse," some people may make fun of that bullshit.
Oh, people will make fun of him here as well.
Yeah,
you'll get made fun of if you wear a pink or salmon shirt. Yeah, you'll probably get into a fight if you go to certain areas. That's just how it is. But personally, I just think those kind of people are ignorant, and they don't really make a big enough difference to anyone's real life. You know, people are still going to wear pink shirts. Men are still going to become male nurses. But your thing is, you're saying women aren't being treated properly, isn't it?
I acknowledge the double standards that women have to deal with that men don't, and then vice versa. Like, there's things that men have to deal with that women don't have to deal with. So I acknowledge, the difference between the parties.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but would you say that labeling yourself a feminist because you acknowledge the difference is a bit extreme? Because everyone acknowledges the difference, but it's a bit extreme to then label yourselves, something because of it.
So basically, it's the F word. So okay, let's just say what is something I'm for women's rights, but not use the feminism label. Is that? I mean, would that make a difference?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot better.
That's what I've been telling you.
Okay,
just call yourself an activist.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Because I get that whole word. That's what it seems like. The word just seems loaded. So like it's like I have good intentions, but it just seem like
you do. And that's what I'm saying. You've got very.
It's just a loaded.
When you say you're a feminist, you automatically shut men's thinking down, and you separating yourself. Most men are going to shut down because of the stereotypes of a lot of these feminists. Some of them have shown a bulltiger mentality, and it's ridiculous. Some women are feminists because they actually hate men, and they want to do anything against men.
When I think about feminists,
why I identify as a feminist, because I mean there's certain aspects that I like about it. The whole owning your body, your sexuality. Like there's certain aspects that I appreciate, and then there's some women are ignorant when it comes to their bodies. Like, we're not taught about what we have between our fucking legs. Like, they can't even use a proper name for it. Like, that's what I mean by that. So
I think a lot of women are quite aware of their bodies. I mean, look at OnlyFans.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
OnlyFans, I mean, women are making full use of their bodies. Look at OnlyFans again. I mean, even I went on this site TikTok just to browse, and the stuff that I saw there was like another. You'd think that women have all this freedom, all this stuff that they can do, and the most that they want to do is find any dance they can find in which they could get to show their asses, or where they get to show their camel toe. Any way that's literally what a lot of these women are doing. So they seem to know very well how valuable their bodies are, because apparently what they do is they market it. Then they come out with an OnlyFans. They get all the people, and then they just make money from it. So I think women are doing all right for themselves. I mean, do you see men? Here's one actually. So that's another thing. A woman can become a millionaire just from having a nice ass and some big tits. But it's not like men are trying to do the same thing. It's because men know their place. They know what a woman's value is. A woman knows what her value is, and that's her beauty and her body. And that's just how it is. It's just like the reason I'm with my woman is because I find her attractive, and she just happens to be smart as well. And she's not going to complain because I'd say she's living quite a comfortable life herself. And what's wrong with that? Just a woman just enjoying what she's got. You know, I don't see what a woman's not getting. I'd say a woman can get a quite comfortable life for doing a lot less than a lot of men these days, especially with the internet about.
And that's why men hate feminism. So you guys get the baby, right? We have no say in abortion. And you guys want more rights on top of that shit?
Is Cynthia G a feminist?
I don't even subscribe to like Cynthia G's.
I heard her saying some really hardcore stuff.
Yeah, I know she hates men.
She fucking mad as well, be the way she acts, man.
But the thing is, these women go at men, but they don't even identify as a feminist. So I mean, you can't really blame all of it on feminism. Some of these women don't even identify as a feminist, but they got it out for men.
Oh, I just asked, is she one? I don't know either way.
I don't know.
What about Crystal Harrison? I know she hates men. Well, she hates black men.
Well, she hates black men. Like, I don't subscribe to her either. Like, because this is why I don't care for Crystal. She makes it seem like, first of all, when she talks about interracial relationships, she only focuses on white men, and she makes it seem like somehow being a white man's going to solve all your problems. That's why I don't like girls like any other relationship. The fuck.
You know what? She actually liked me though. She was all right with me. In fact, she shared some of my videos years ago. So.
She loves anyone in an interracial relationship.
But you ever notice it's always a white man? She acts like, does she not know that black women date Asian men? Why she don't showcase that? If your whole platform is about interracial relationships, why wouldn't you just showcase them all? Why are you just concentrating on?
Yeah, funny that you say that, because the biggest interracial relationships are actually Asian women and white men. But people under the assumption it's just black men and white women. But I suppose that's what gets pushed in the forefront because, I don't know, it's the most taboo, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, if you're going to showcase an interracial relationship, you should show them all. Especially if your platform is just merely about black women being in interracial relationships, okay, show them all. Why does it seem like you show the white man, solely the white man and the black woman together?
Yeah, you know, that's one thing I don't like.
Just exist.
Yeah, I don't like it on YouTube when in interracial relationships where you'll get people trying to say the other race is better or try and rub it in people's faces. I've never understood that. That's one thing which I don't agree with. Because
sorry? Got one person that does that in this sector, but I won't mention that person.
That's not my thing because I don't know. I just don't view. Maybe it's just my point of view, but I don't really view anyone that special, no matter their race. They have to interest me. So I don't look at someone of a particular race and say, "Yeah, I want that." If you just happen to be a nice person and I find you attractive, that's it. But some people, I don't know. I do agree. Some people do look at it as a status thing in their heads, anyway. But I'd say the majority of people in those kind of relationships, in the UK anyway, I'm not sure what it's like in America, because I've noticed a lot of American people, they seem, black people in America, they seem to be more obsessed about race. And
because we were built on
We have to.
look at the foundation. Everything this country was built on slavery. Like everything that's over here is race based. Like it's like in the UK, you all concentrate on class more than race. Not to say you guys don't experience racism, but it seems like you guys focus more on class.
Yeah, I mean, because you know what, I posted a video of some white homeless person. She was racist to a black guy, and then he must have kicked her money over the floor and poured water all over her, and she was using the N-word. And I was thinking to myself, I haven't heard anyone like in the UK use that word in probably 15 years. So I was just thinking how rare it is to actually see a white person being racist. Personally, I haven't actually seen it in a very long time. Whereas in America, I suppose that you see it all the time, white people being racist. And so I was just thinking how strange it is to live in that kind of environment. Like here, I made a video where it showed like in America, like almost 2,000 people got killed by the police in 1 year. And I couldn't believe it. Because in the UK, we had one person killed by the police in a year, you know, and it's just crazy how different it is out there. But then,
and I don't even think you all police carry guns. So that's a big.
No, they'd only come for you if someone's obviously if it's they've got trident. It's literally just targeting black gangs because usually it's black gangs with the guns. So that's all they have. So that's a special force, but. No, the normal police don't carry guns. They don't need to, I don't think. I mean, here, 13 black men have been killed in 10 years. So, yeah, the way the police are is a lot different here than in America. So I can see why race is such a big issue out there.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to bring up, Harley.
Yeah.
How many females die by the hands of police per year in the USA? Do you know?
I don't know the actual number.
Me either. I don't know. I was just asking. But I'm pretty sure more men die, right? And more men are in prison, right? I just can't think of any cons that you guys have when it comes to being a female. I'm pretty sure you guys got all.
Breonna Taylor got killed. Sandra Bland. I mean, we get killed and abused by the police as well.
Yeah, but it's the number is so low that you remember the names. That's how low it is. You can remember the names of people who got abused because it makes.
Well, you know, our stories get ignored. Unfortunately, it's just like how the media doesn't want to acknowledge black women being missing. But if a white woman was to be missing, they would do a whole fucking production of it.
Yeah, I agree on that. I agree on the racism part, but the gender part. Oh no! You guys get there are more benefits of being a female. Well, at least in the USA and Canada, probably, maybe in other countries. Then, like I can't speak for other countries.
You know, until I came to YouTube, I didn't even know there was such a divide amongst black women and black men in America. I mean, because you had like Tommy putting down black women, then you've got Cynthia G putting down black men, and you know everyone's trying to make their money appealing. Then you've got the whole manosphere. So it's just I don't know. I just think
they're fucking sexist.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of effects in the future behind all of this because people are literally pushing their brands, building their channels, building their movements.
Jay Black, you just said it's true, but you know what's so sad is people will believe this shit and take it and use it in their real life like dumbasses. Not realize that most of the people that are doing these type of messages are promoting their brand to get paid.
Exactly.
They don't even really give a shit and believe in what they do. They've just found a way to make a living off of their ideology.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you just said that because that's why I brought up that Cynthia G because she brought up a video because some black woman in the UK, part of BLM, she got shot in the head at a party in Peckham. And she was trying to blame black men, and she was trying to say that black women in the UK and black women in America are the same, and they need to join forces to banish black men. And I just thought, so now she's tried to push her brand across, to the UK and just saying black women need to stick together and go against black men. But I don't understand what she's trying to say, because she doesn't like black men. She claims she doesn't like white men because of white supremacy. So I'm thinking, so what kind of man is she after? Because she got with that Robert Perkins.
Yeah, she got with the worst stereotypical. The way you would think she would have got a better choice of a man. That guy's got a bunch of kids already before she even fucked him.
Yeah, so I just don't understand. It's just she's not structured, and it seems like all she wants to do is push hate. Like, she just dislikes black men, and it's just an odd thing, because you have to want something. You can't just say, hey, black women, don't deal with black men, and then what is your option? If you're not gay, then who are you going to deal with?
And then she goes and gets a worthless motherfucker with a bunch of babies.
Well, yeah, she said what?
They already got a bunch of fucking kids.
She's got a saying about black men that they use black bags to move around the place or something. And when I saw that Robert Perkins, he literally is the definition of a black man who would do so. I don't want to sound offensive, but he literally looks like the kind of man she claims to be against. And it's just the hypocrisy. I think it's just money. Like,
don't
people come online,
other kids or some shit. I forget, he's got a bunch of other kids though. And
yeah.
She's saying that they equally share stuff. I'm sorry, I don't see how he does that when he's got a bunch of kids. And he ain't making no real money. Because child support probably eating his ass up.
Did she have to have an abortion, or what did she do?
I thought they had a baby together.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay. Wow.
I thought they did. Huh?
Let me ask you a question, man. Where did the divide come from between like black people in the USA, since you're the oldest person here? Because like when I see like older couples, elderly couples, it seems like the unity is there.
I know part of it was the welfare system. When they told the black, and they enforced that on black people more than they did the white people, where they would actually come in the house and there couldn't be no clothing, no clue of a man living in the house.
So that's where the divide came from.
That's one area. Yeah.
But that's
what doesn't happen now. I mean, nowadays.
No, it doesn't happen now. But once you start something, that
as Jay Black said, it's unique in the USA, where you see like there's this big divide where people are making videos. Like,
you know what, Freddie? I just want to say this. You see that welfare system Jimmie just said about how. Well, the thing is, they've got the same thing in the UK, where if a man's seen the woman gets her money taken and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, you don't see white men then come online and put down white women. You see what I mean? And you don't see. So I think it is unique to America. There is no equivalent to Cynthia G in the UK. There is no equivalent to Candace Owens in the UK. There's no equivalent to any of these people that come online and just try and appeal to a white audience by tearing down black people. Yeah. So it is. That's why why I thought it was amazing when I found out about all of this kind of stuff. It's just like, wow, you've actually got people that come online, show their face, and say these kind of things.
They show their face. Yeah, that's scary.
But they're getting paid nicely. That's the scary part, though. Wow. And people are dumb enough to take their ideology and put it into their real lives.
Man, watch how far we came. We got a Crystalline Carrison telling her own people, hey, just date the oppressor, our men and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And this is the thing, like, I have no problem of people dating who they want. I just can't, this is my issue. Like, stop acting like this person is better than the next. It's at the end of the day, no relationship is perfect. You're gonna deal with if it's not that issue, you're gonna deal with a whole bunch of problems. So it's not perfect. You dating a white man / white woman is not gonna solve all your fucking problems. It's like any other relationship.
It's not gonna solve any of your problems.
Yeah.
As Jay said, he loves his wife for her. He's not gonna go around saying, hey, you know what, date all white women. That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like crazy because all white people are not the same. Like, you're like, at the end of the day, there are people like everyone else. They have flaws. They're not perfect either. So because it's just like me someone saying, yeah, I only date black women,
But then I say, okay, so are you saying I should hook up with Candace Owens? Does she look at black people the same? You know, people are just different. So you're going to pick who you're going to pick based on how they treat you and what qualities they have. So just like there are white people that hate black people, I'm not going to go to some, I don't know, some Combat 88 bar and try and pick up some white woman with a bunch of skinheads or something. It's just stupid. So I hate it when people just say all white people are this, all black people are that. It's just so ridiculous. It seems everyone's just out trying to make money on YouTube, so they say the most outrageous things they can. But unfortunately, you'll see a lot of their supporters, they believe in that stuff. But I think a lot of the people that make the videos, the content creators, they don't believe in what they're saying. That all they want for a bunch of people who are just stupid and have no problems just opening up their wallets because they want to hear hate, they want to hear division. Maybe they can't get men. Like if you go and look at that, what's her name? The black woman that hates black men, the one I was talking about, Cynthia G. If you go in a comment section, the stuff that they're saying about black men is disgusting. And I think these women actually believe it, and they actually have a genuine hate for black men. But the thing is, no man of any race wants a negative woman like that. So they don't seem to understand the reason they can't get a man, a black man. It's not because the guy is black. It's because she's just really negative, and no man wants to be with a miserable woman that can't even be happy for herself. But how's she going to make her man happy if she's not even happy with who she is? And then they latch on to these YouTubers and say, yeah, it's all black women's fault. Or it's all black men's fault. And, you know, they end up giving these people money for lies.
I got rid of that person. So yeah, it's just like how
that's Bobby Norris.
Yeah, I don't know who that person is.
I can tell that toilet looks so dirty. It looks like something like, so yeah, Bobby Norris, yeah.
Basement Bobby.
Disgusting.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. You see the manosphere hating on women, and you see black women hating on the black man. It's just crazy.
It's just antagonistic. You know, I think to myself, if Cynthia G believes so much in what she's saying, and say the likes of O'Shea Duke Jackson, those kind of people, how come none of them actually ever debate each other? Like, if they believe in what they're saying, just have a debate and see who seems to make more sense. But they don't want to do that. They just want to just make videos appealing to a certain type of person who they know is going to have a lot of hate in themselves and who's going to donate, because they don't believe in what they're saying.
But here's another good question, RJ. How come they're never satisfied? How come they're never content? Like if Crystalline Carrison, right, she found the one for her, why does she want every single black woman to find a white man?
You know, I think a lot of these people have unresolved trauma.
Yep, that's it.
No, and they have an agenda.
Because there's unresolved trauma mixed with a financial incentive.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot of pain and you know you can make money from your pain, then it kind of makes sense.
Can I say something right quick?
Yeah, hey, Randy.
What is the other guy name? The guy that's speaking from the UK?
That's Shea Black.
Okay, you can't speak for African American men. Like you said, you wasn't pro-black and you're individual.
I'm not speaking for African American men. Where did you get that from?
You said earlier, like you're not for being pro-black, like you're just individual.
Yeah, I was talking about me, not African American men. Is that good enough for you?
Okay,
could you make a different question?
Okay, let me speak, man. Don't cut me off.
Do you want to apologize for being incorrect first?
I end up apologizing to you because you don't know what you're talking
incorrect,
about.
but you won't apologize. Why? Why are you so insecure you won't apologize?
You don't know me like that, dude. Like,
you're insecure. You won't apologize. You were wrong.
Like, you're just talking nonsense.
You were wrong.
Like, no,
you were wrong, and now you're getting upset.
You're not American.
You made an incorrect statement.
Shut up and let me talk.
You made an incorrect statement.
Let me talk.
Why would you tell me to shut up?
You made a stupid statement earlier talking about you're not pro-black, you're individual. It's about black people as a collective around the globe.
I'm not pro-black. I'm speaking for myself. That you
but
said
you're
I
not
was
American,
speaking
though.
for
But you're speaking on pro-black issues that goes on in America,
you
though.
do know that
You're
pro-black
not
could be
even
anywhere,
American.
right?
You're not an African American. You don't know what goes on here.
Are you crying?
You're talking about black people.
Black,
I ain't
I'm
crying,
black.
you idiot.
I'm black, idiot.
You do not black, you
I'm
dumb
black,
idiot.
idiot.
He's
You
a black
might come down
British.
in America and say that you
He's an
dumb.
idiot.
Yeah.
Listen to him.
You do an idiot.
He
You
thinks
sound
all-
stupid.
he
You don't
thinks
even
all
sound
black
black.
people
When you
live
sound
in
like a white
America. You
person.
sound
I thought you
stupid.
was white.
Now, see,
Oh my God.
that's ignorant. No, because
Putting a
there
lot
are
of
black
stuff that
people in
don't
the
even make
UK.
sense.
You
There are
see,
black
Harley,
people
this is what I
now.
mean. These are the kind of
But he said
idiots
like
that
he's
you're going to
not
have
pro-black.
around here.
He said, oh, he's not pro-black.
Oh.
I'm individual. You sound stupid. It's about
Why?
black people as a collective around the globe. It's not about you as an individual. You're just one person.
Randy,
it's
I'm
about black
sorry.
men
I'm
and black
sorry. I
women.
don't give a fuck about you. Is
I
that
don't give a
good
fuck
enough?
about you either. You're an
Good.
idiot.
Then
I
get
don't
off
care
the
about
line.
you. You ain't
Get
no
off the
African
line.
American. You're
You
not gonna
called
come
in
to
to speak
America
to
and
me.
say that.
You care
You
about
idiot.
me. You
You
care
dumb.
about me.
You slow.
You care
I
about
don't
me.
know you. I don't give a
What
fuck
I have
about
to
you.
say
You
means so
dumb.
much to
I've
you
been
that
in
you
this
have to call in to
space since
speak to me.
2005. I'm a
Yeah.
content creator.
Yeah.
I'm
Randy,
well
stop
respected in
crying.
this sector, you idiot.
Stop
I've been
crying.
pro-black
You're
all my
crying.
life, you idiot. I've been
You
making
made a
pro-black content since
mistake, and then you're
2005.
getting
You don't
angry
even know what you're
because you didn't
talking
know
about.
what you were
You
talking
dumb.
about.
I don't even know you.
You contradicted yourself. You don't know
No,
me,
you
but you call in
contradicted
to speak to
yourself.
me.
You're not even
Why did you
American.
click on the
You
link?
sound
Why
stupid.
did
You
you
can't even
click on the
speak
link?
on black
You
issues.
don't care about me, but you clicked on the
No,
link
I
to
don't.
yell at me.
But you're speaking
To
on black
cry.
issues. You're talking about you're not
So?
pro-black.
So?
You don't
So?
experience what African
So what?
Americans
So
experience
what?
because
Well,
you're
if
in
What?
he's
another country.
okay, to be fair,
Go
if
ahead.
he's black, he can speak on black issues if he's
No,
black.
he can't. He's not American,
Yes, I
Queen.
can.
He's not from America.
I can speak about what I want, Randy. You're not
No,
going to
you
do
can't.
anything.
You do
Randy,
not
what are you
African
going to do
American.
about
Just
it?
like
Randy,
I can't
Randy,
speak on
Randy.
the UK. I can't speak on the UK. I'm
Randy,
not from
calm
the
down.
UK. I'm
Calm
from
down,
America.
Randy.
I'm African
Calm
American.
down,
You're
Randy.
not
We know your mother
American
was a
descendant of
bitch. We know
slaves.
your
You're
mother
not
was a
from
bitch,
this
but calm
country. You
down.
never experienced this.
Randy, we know
I
your
don't
mother
care
was a
about you. You're
bitch.
not African
Calm
American. You
down.
can't speak on
Calm
my
down. Calm
issues.
down.
I'm about to
Randy,
log
calm
off.
yourself
You all
down.
have a great day.
Calm
Continue the
down.
conversation. I'm about to log off.
Yeah,
Thank you for
yeah,
having
go.
me, Queen.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. Whatever. Bye.
Right.
Bye. Bye, Randy.
Okay. Now,
So-
see, I'm gonna have to do another show about this.
Whoa. Harley. You know what? Randy should become a feminist because he sounds like a woman, a disgruntled woman. Well, not that you're one. I'm just saying in general. Because think about it. This is what I mean about emotional men. So he calls in and says, you shouldn't be speaking on behalf of black men. And I said, I wasn't. I said I was speaking on behalf of myself. And instead of just saying, you know what, acknowledging he made a mistake, what did he do? He went into a tirade, literally crying. His voice was breaking because he was so emotional and upset. And then what did he say to me? I don't give a fuck about you. Okay, you don't give a fuck about me, but you hear me on the show and you click the link because you want to yell at me. It makes no sense. These people aren't logical. He made a mistake and he just didn't want to acknowledge he made a mistake. How are you going to tell me when I say I'm speaking on behalf of myself that I shouldn't speak on behalf of black people? And then he contradicts himself halfway through and says I'm an idiot because I don't want to speak. I don't want to represent all black people. Then he says I can't be pro-black because he thinks I'm not black. He gets corrected that I am black. Then he says, well, you're black and you're not from America, so you can't speak on black issues. But wait, though, I'm black, though. So you're telling me only black people live in America? And you see, Harley, this is what I mean. A lot of these guys are just really dumb. I hate to use the IQ, quote unquote IQ, but you can't tell me that guy has even an average IQ because he should be embarrassed to come online and actually come up with such a poor argument. And what did he do as soon as he could? He came in, yelled like a female, and then ran off the line as quick as he could because he's stupid. Now, do you think, in all honesty, if he spoke to me calmly like I'm speaking and we had a conversation, is there any way on earth someone like him would get the better of me? Let's just be honest. Actually, Harley, you're going to be nice because maybe, you've spoken to him before. I understand you're the host of the show. But
I know this
chat,
person even talking to that person.
well, there you go. So do you seriously think someone like that would ever be able to step toe-to-toe with me in any conversation about anything? He wouldn't. He's just yelling emotional, hey, let me just scream as loud as I can, not apologize for being wrong, and quickly run off the line. Oh, come on, stop it.
And see, that's another thing. Listen, I don't understand this whole narrative about you being a white guy because you talk a certain way. Do people not realize there are black people in Britain? Black
You
people
know
been
what the
in Britain
problem?
since the fucking Roman times. That's how long Black people been in Britain.
But you know what the problem is, Harley? There's a big difference. People like you, because you sound for the average American black person, you sound quite well spoken.
You
I
know,
can
I
tell
educate myself. I try to learn from other cultures. I mean,
exactly.
I'm me. I try to learn from people. You know,
Exactly. So what I
their
was going to say is,
history.
anyone that's the only black people have ever said that because I'm well spoken, I must be white. They all sound uneducated and quite stupid.
And
So that's what.
I got the white label as well. So I mean, that's another thing. I'm so tired of people wanting to place limitations on Black people, trying to put Black people in a box. We're not all the same. We don't talk the same. We didn't grow up in the same environment. Like, stop expecting every Black person to be the same. We're not the same.
Exactly. But
You know,
yeah, he was just emotional. You know what? I'm used to that. I find that I tend to say things, or maybe my demeanor, it makes a lot of these men emotional, unless they were emotional in the first place. But they shouldn't get so emotional like that. I'm trying to be logical. I'm having a logical discussion, and people get like that. You know what it is? I think that the way my tone, the way I come across, the way I speak, because I sound well spoken. You'll get lot of dumb men. They'll hear me and they want to be seen to one up me in some way. So they'll try and start a stupid argument of some sort, anything, just so that they want to be seen by other people as one upping me. And what usually happens is they end up running off the line when they can't do it. They'll say as much stuff as they can and then quickly run away. It happens. I'm used to it. You know.
Yo,
right,
what's
I'm
up,
used to
Harley?
it as well. That's why it doesn't impact me, because I'm so used to it. But it's like you're not gonna box me in. You're like, I'm Black, but I'm not monolith, and I'm not gonna live up to your bullshit ass stereotypes. That's on you if you think all Black people are supposed to act the same. We're not all the same.
Some of these people, like the one that was on before, he wants me to be as emotionally invested in what he cares about. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not that emotionally invested. I'm content with my life. I'm happy with the trajectory of my life. And I just come in and I just speak my opinion on certain things, but I'm not going to be crying, having my voice croaking because I care so much about what he has to say. Like, please listen to me. Let me hop online. Please listen to me. It's just like, stop it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I got a question for Jay Black real quick.
Oh, Phantom, I remember you. I blocked you a few weeks ago. I think you were saying something. You were annoyed about something that I said, one of my videos. Was it the one on Tariq Nasheed by any chance?
I don't really remember, but I got a question
Yeah.
regarding the current situation. Like, okay, so you have a white wife, right?
Oh, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, and you have a child.
That's right.
So, do you consider that child you have with her Black?
No,
Why is that?
because he's mixed race.
Okay, but speaking from a societal context, let's
Oh,
look
society
at
would
See, that's
consider him
another
black.
difference. See, in America, we do things differently. Like in America, any trace of Black, you are Black, but in
no,
other
Harley,
places,
you cut me
yeah.
off. You cut me off. I'm trying to finish because, like,
Okay, get to it.
recently with the Meghan Markle situation, she was not considered mixed race by your country. She was considered Black, right?
By some people in the country, yes.
Well, I would say
Not
by the
everyone has the
majority,
same views here.
she was seen as a Black woman speaking from a societal context. She wasn't considered white. Am I right?
Oh, she wouldn't be considered white because she isn't. Her dad's white,
Exactly.
though.
So that's what I'm saying. You gotta all this. You have to put in a societal context as well. When you're saying the individual, that's all well and good, but you gotta remember there's a greater, larger society surrounding you as an individual. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I
So
understand.
in that context, what I'm speaking is mixed race children have a harder time on average than a pure white child or a pure Black child because they have dual allegiances going on. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at the way Meghan Markle operated, her black mother was on her side, whereas her entire white family, what were they doing? Disparaging her, going against her, causing her all kind of hell. The man she married, his white family, doing the exact same thing, drove her damn near to suicide. So what I'm saying is that if you have a mixed race child and you are a black parent, you need to make sure that child is racially aware in a societal context. That's what I was getting at.
Oh, that's a good point. And yeah, he's going to be racially aware. And you know what, actually, Phantom, I'm glad you brought that up, because this is what I mean about choosing the right partner. So my partner will even do things that even I haven't thought of. Like, and say her mother, actually. Her mother even got my son a book about being mixed race or something like that. One of those kids kind of books. So she's trying to, let him know who he is and that kind of thing and feel comfortable. So the white side have actually done quite a bit in stuff that I haven't even thought of. So even they made me more aware, because some people say in my real life, I've said this before, some people say I can come across as nonchalant, or maybe I don't look at things a certain way, or I could be quite selfish. But thankfully, I picked a partner who does care about that kind of stuff. Like, she seems to care more about a lot of, like, say, whenever there's police brutality, that kind of thing, it seems to affect her more than it does me. Like me, it'll piss me off, but her actually upsets her. You see what I mean? So it's
Right.
all about picking the right person. So her side of the family, the white side, her white family, they treat him like a prince. You see what I mean? So, so when I say I'm more selfish, like I don't think about, it's all about me and whatever, take that with a pinch of salt, a grain of salt. You see what I mean? So I do care about black people as a whole, and anyone that's been watching me for ages will know that that's pretty much, anytime I see someone disrespecting black people or whatever, I speak up. But at the same time, what I'm saying is people need to be more individualistic, because you can't fix the black race. No one can fix the black race. The only way the black race can be fixed is if individuals take care of themselves. It's just like saying the Chinese or the whites need to fix their race. It's not going to happen. You're going to have too many individuals with different worldviews. You're going to have white supremacists, then you're going to have white people that like black people. You can't fix anything. So you're going to have these preachers that come on YouTube, especially wanting money to tell people what they should already know. They enrich themselves. But the fact of the matter is, everything starts at home, and it starts with yourself. So if people want to see the black race improve, if you're black, you just have to improve your own life. And that's pretty much it. But it's not going to happen with everyone. So it's not something to worry about, because the more you worry about that kind of stuff, the harder your life is going to be.
I don't disagree with that at all, but I'll say this: the strength of the wolf is the pack. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The collective has to demand from the individual betterment. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you live, like, take your government for example. Like, the upper echelons of the UK government for decades have been pedophiles. This was okay.
Oh, that's true.
This was seen as acceptable behavior. The collective basically demanded of the individual, if you want to be a part of us, these are some of the things you might have to engage in or be okay with. You dig what I'm saying?
In fact, that happened up until recently. I'm not sure if you've heard the Tory party. They're like the Conservatives anyway, where a bunch of them, like 72 of them, were found on some file to be pedophiles, but then the police somehow lost it. They lost all the information, and then the case had to be dropped. So yeah, that hasn't really stopped.
Right, that goes all the way back to Margaret Thatcher. That's been good. Like I said, it's been going on for decades. So the collective, if you have a strong, productive collective, and an individual wants to be a part of that collective, that's where the betterment comes in. That's why I'm speaking. There's a greater society around the individual. So
Yeah.
the society itself, as a collective, needs to improve, and therefore the individual can improve. You can't just say, oh, everybody as an individual needs to be better. That's not really the way humans work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, wolves are pack animals, humans are somewhat pack animals.
Yeah.
Part of
Hey,
your
my son's just come in, so I need to hop off in a minute. Wait there. You okay? What are you up to? He's gone shy. Sorry about that. You made some good points, so I'm going to unblock you because you must have said something which irritated me before. But yeah, I'll unblock you, and but I need to hop off now. So yeah, thanks. Anyway, take care. Anyway, bye, Harley.
All right, bye. Okay. How you doing?
Man, Jay Black cool. You just gotta meet him at his level. You feel me? Like he's an intellectual dude, so you gotta meet him at an intellectual level, and then when you bring shit to him that's actually relevant and he can apply it and has an example from his own life, he understands. You know what I'm saying? The way Randy came at him was all fucked up and weird. I don't know what Randy was doing, but
And people been saying that for years. Like everyone knows there's black people in Britain, so I don't understand that. The whole Jay Black is white. I mean, you do realize there's black people in Britain,
right? But the thing about American black people, like our society is so centered around America, we don't really investigate what's going on in other countries. You feel me? Like we're American centric as American black people. We're not global or international like that.
Yeah, it's like people learn from us, but we don't take, a lot of times that us Americans, we don't take the time out to learn from other people.
Yeah, which is, kind of a tragedy, but what I will say is when American black people do travel, we get the red carpet. You feel me? Like if you American and you black, you go anywhere in the world, they gonna fuck with you. They gonna want to know what you about, what you do, what are you on. Like they're interested in you as an American black person because they don't really investigate us. America's seen as a white country. You know what I'm saying? It's not seen as a black country. So if you go anywhere else, they want to know your side of the story from your level. You feel me?
Right. And it's like, we're the center of the world. Like people watch our movies. I mean, we influence people with our culture. So it's like we are already influencing people around the world, but at times we don't try to learn from other people. And see the reason why Jay Black can speak on, American issues because like he sees what goes on. The world watches us. So of course they're gonna have a say of what's going on because they witness what's going on. The world watches us. Hello? Benton, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, well, I was saying is, they pay attention to what white culture, what white people put out about us, like as far as the music, the culture, the black culture, that's the perspective of white people. That's what they get to see. But as far as the on the ground level perspective of how we are treated and how we see things, they don't get that because we don't have black media that's international like that. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to go to find it. Like the internet makes it easier. You can go look up a Dr. Umar video or some shit like that, but not people overseas are seeing that and they don't even fucking speak English. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can easily find the information from the black perspective, not necessarily the white filtered black perspective. You get me?
The Brits have been inspired by us. I mean, if you listen to like the Beatles, they'll tell you, "Yo, I was the music I was inspired by was black people." So Brits have always, especially the white Brits.
Who said that? From the Beatles, who said that?
Paul McCartney and other members in the group, they said that they were inspired by black musicians. Rolling Stones, they're Brits, and they say the same thing.
Like what musicians? I want to know that. That's
Oh,
kind of
you okay? Like Little Richard, um, Jimi Hendrix. Like we influence people. Like a lot of Brits will tell us they were inspired by our music.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
Tina Turner, they love them some Tina Turner. George Michael will say the same shit. Listen, I'm inspired by y'all. Dave, what's that guy name who said now? Fucking David. Fuck, what's his name? He was married to Iman. What's his name? Fuck, let me try to look his name up.
David Bowie.
David fucking Bowie. Yeah, he says he was inspired by us.
Right. I was thinking maybe James Brown might have been a source of inspiration, but I was
he was too. The guy, the lead singer from Rolling Stone was inspired by his stage presence.
Yeah. So yeah, that
even K-pop artists took some shit from Black people, music-wise, from back in the 90s. If you listen to K-pop music, you will hear some Black influence from them.
Well, yeah, they already said that. Like the big wigs over there who be controlling them little Korean motherfuckers, they say, yeah, we took what Black people did as far as R&B groups, and we kind of made it our own. You know, that's what's up. Like that's what I said. The music, the culture, they get that. But as far as like the Black person's perspective is living in America, they don't get that. But our culture is worldwide. Like Black American culture is everywhere. You go to India, there's motherfuckers hip hopping and rapping and freestyling, battling like they still do over here, but like they got it from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they have the current shit. No, they got the shit from we already did, and they took that and made it their own. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I don't agree when Hollywood say shit like, "Oh, a Black lead in a movie doesn't sell overseas." Bullshit. Y'all just don't want to attempt to give us our props because we know our capability of influence the world. They don't want to see us shine. But you see when we do well globally, they just treat it as a fluke.
Yeah, that's true. And that comes from that white fragility complex that some of them have, or a lot of them have.
Right. Like black people in this country, man, we need to realize, listen, man, we influence people. We influence motherfuckers around the world. Like we the shit. You know what I mean? Just because motherfuckers don't want to give us credit or acknowledge, we very much influence people. Like even when it comes to civil rights, man, people will go back and use us as reference and say, "Yo, I was inspired by y'all." When it comes to fighting for their rights, they will reference black people. They even with the whole of this whole Black is beautiful, they will tell you y'all was inspired by you. Well, even Brits had their own Black Panther movement. They were inspired by us.
They did? What was that called? Was it called the Black Panthers? Or what?
Yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. So we have influenced people.
True.
Hello, your thing's acting up again.
Oh, I say you're definitely right about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We just gotta acknowledge our history, man. There's more to our history than slavery and struggle and shit, man. We are really amazing people if you look at it, man. If we look at how we influence people in a lot of ways. Like shit, we came up with rock and roll. I don't give a fuck that white people took that, man. That was our shit.
Yeah, the was Chuck
El-
Berry, I think it was.
yeah, Chuck Berry. Like, if you black, you know who's the king of rock and roll. We will reference fucking Little Richard, Chuck Berry, B.B. King, Ike Turner, amongst others.
Mm-hmm.
They use Elvis to make him acceptable in the white race. They didn't want to use a black artist to influence white people, if you will. So they put a white face on it and called it rock. Well, we came up with that shit.
That's usually what they do. Same thing they did with Jesus. Put a white face on it.
Like, even that Elvis song "Hound Dog," that was his original song. There was a black woman named Big Mama Thornton. That was her song. They was taking songs from other black artists and giving it to Elvis.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That was a hit.
And then you had another black woman named Rosetta Tharpe. You ever heard of her?
Mm-mm.
But yeah, she was a rock star back in the 50s. Her guitar and shit.
I might have to look that up later.
Yeah. There's just so much in history we're kept from. We don't even realize. Like, if you look real deep into it, you be like, damn, man, we came up with all that? Yeah.
Yeah, just like Jack Daniels. It was a black slave that invented that.
Yeah.
Admit the truth about that just a few years ago. Like, that whole recipe was from a black slave who worked in a distillery, I believe it was.
Right. And it's just like how we see the bullshit double standards. Like, you see how when we rock cornrows and all these hairstyles and shit, they call us ghetto and unprofessional, but when a white person do it, it's trendy. Really? But when we do it, it's seen as a negative. Come on now. They like to take pieces from us and try to make it better, but when we were doing it, when we're the original people who did it, they criticize us for it.
Yeah, they operate like identity thieves.
Like calling cornrows Bo Derek braids. Excuse me, they're not fucking Bo Derek braids, they're cornrows, and we've been rocking them shits way before you guys encounter fucking cornrows. Fuck out of here. Call it what it is. If you're gonna run around rocking our hairstyles and shit, call it the proper name, not fucking Bo Derek braids. It's cornrows. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hop off if anybody else wants to come on. But yeah, I'm gonna go look up some of the shit you said. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Man, I like to read on shit, man. I'm into research. I like reading on history. Like, I'm just a sponge. Like, anything I read, I'll remember it. I have a photographic memory.
Oh, that's what's up. All right, for sure. I'm gonna leave you to it.
All right. Have a nice day.
All right. I might hop back on later if some other people want to come up. But yeah, for sure.
All right. But yeah, y'all. Yo, I see that word feminism is a bad word. And even though I have good intentions, though, but just saying that term drives people crazy. Just saying that word. And it will always be considered like a bad word because of controversy surrounding it. Anyone else want to hop on?
yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I'm just for, like, that's another thing. People think that because you're a feminist, like, you think you're going by white women's standards. It's like, nah, man. That's why Black feminism is a thing. Because we know they don't give a shit about Black women's issues. We know this. And that's why we broke away from mainstream feminism to do our own thing, to address our issues. We know our issues ain't the same with a fucking white woman. We know this. And I'm not trying to cause division, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, let's address the problems that we're dealing with within our race, man. Let's speak on shit. Like y'all act like we ain't got shit going on in our race, man. Y'all act like we don't deal with sexism, we don't deal with mental health, we deal with shit, man. And we gotta talk about that shit, man. Hey, girl.
What's up, sis?
Hey.
Just wanted to say that this was another great discussion. I know the last one we did ruffled some feathers, but that's what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, it's supposed to cause a conversation.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't hate men. I don't find them to be useless, or I don't want to cause division and beef between men and women, even though it already is. But I just don't have that, that hatred for men. Especially for Black men. I don't hate Black men. I don't despise them or anything like that. But like I said, I asked those questions because Black women and Black men, we've been having, some of us been having that conversation, and it needs to be had over and over again, because we need to come up with a solution. We need to talk it out. We need to come up with new different ideas. But those questions I asked them to you because I really wanted to hear your perspective. It wasn't necessarily to throw shade at anybody.
Well, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean I don't care who got offended or anything like that, but it wasn't my intentions to.
But this is the thing, though. It needs to be said, though.
Right.
I don't believe all that. Nah. Listen, shit needs to be addressed. Point blank. Period. I don't care who gets upset. Hey, that's why we need to talk about this. I don't believe in skating around shit. It needs to be said.
Right. I agree. Because again, when you these conversations, a lot of, especially the pro-Black men, they take it as, oh, you hate Black men. They don't listen. They don't try to understand. They don't try to get a different perspective. Like I said, everything they think and believe in is centered around Black men. It's not really centered around anything else. It doesn't expand to anything else. And this is why these conversations need to be had. I feel like in a lot of these pro-Black movements, Black women and what issues we try to bring to anyone's attention gets pushed, back.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's what caused Black women to turn to feminism, because they weren't being heard during the Black movement, the Black liberation. They weren't being heard. Like, you can't ignore people and expect them to stick around. You need, if you don't want division amongst your race, you need to address shit going on within your race. You don't neglect certain groups of people and expect them very same people to stick around. You can't do that. If you truly don't want division, you need to
we all need to respect one another. We all need to support each other. The black man, the black woman, we should be supporting each other. You should be sensitive we should be sensitive to each other's needs. We shouldn't be trying to silence each other. That we're not going to get anywhere if you're doing that.
Exactly. If you want unity, then be unified. You know, put our concerns and issues up front just as well as yours is. You know, it needs to be reciprocated is all I'm saying. I don't think that either one of us should be silenced, you know?
That's what I'm saying. It's like we give men a platform to speak. We don't silence men. We allow them to talk. But when we give, when we talk about things affecting us, some of them don't want to hear it. They think we hate them. And it's like, it's not. No, we're trying to bring our issues to play. Like, what's wrong with speaking about what we deal with? Like, there's certain things that me as a black woman, impacts me. It's not going to impact you as a black man. I can give examples of that. People judging us how we wear our hair. The fact that people don't take our pain seriously when we're going through childbirth and shit. You see that we have the highest maternity deaths because these people don't take our pain seriously in the hospital. And that's why a lot of times some of us are turned to midwifey instead of dealing with the hospital bullshit because they don't take care of us properly.
Right. And black men, they just, not all of them, but some, especially in these pro-black movements or those who support pro-black movements, they don't try to hear that. Everything you talk about, if it's an issue, it better have a black man in the center of it. If not, then they don't want to hear it. You hate black men. You must not give a fuck about your black fathers or brothers or sons or whatever. Like, they really just tune us out. They don't want to hear any other issues that affect other groups within, their race.
Yeah, the thing is, I have love for black men, you know what I mean? But I can't neglect myself as a black woman. You know what I'm saying? I have to take care of myself as well. Like, I can't be everybody's mule. Like, black women been taking care of people for centuries. Okay, black women was taking care of the kids and shit. We was breastfeeding them white kids, taking care. We had to neglect our kids just to take care of them. I mean, we always had to take care of everyone. Like, and it's all fine and dandy, but when is somebody gonna come to us and ask us, are we doing all right? I'm sick of the whole strong black woman bullshit. Like, we're not strong 24/7. We have breakdowns. We're not perfect. We need someone we can cry our shoulders on. Like, what the fuck? We're not fucking Superwoman.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's not even. And I'm just like passionate about this shit. I'm not angry. I'm passionate. Like, I'm just tired of everyone thinking like black women are, Miss Superwoman. Like, we're not your mules. Like, I'm tired of being everyone's mule. Like, when y'all gonna check on us?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, I don't subscribe to the whole strong black woman. I don't subscribe to none of them stupid ass stereotypes, man. It's all bullshit, man.
Right. And I forgot who brought up, I think it was JIMMIE. And I meant to ask him this earlier, but y'all was getting into it, which was good, the conversation. But he had brought up, the government not wanting men in the household. And that part I understand, but I would ask black men of today, because that was like, 50 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, back then. That's not what's going on in 2021. That's
exactly. I'm asking, like, well, what's keeping them out of the household today? What's keeping them from unifying with the black woman and being a family? Like, what's the problem today? Even today in many states, there are men who can now get government assistance.
Right.
Like, in housing, Section 8, all types of government assistance and programs, especially those who help single dads or whatever. So I mean, in 2021, what's the excuse for not being in the household? And I'm not asking specifically Jimmie. I'm asking in any Black man that could, that got an answer for that. It's wild, man. But these conversations do need to be had. What up, And
that whole strong Black woman narrative, that was just a way to justify why we had to deal with the bullshit we had to deal with, man. But it's like, man, we have feelings at the end of the fucking day, man. We don't always have it together 24/7, man. Sometimes we have breakdowns.
Yeah, mental and emotional issues in the Black community, it runs rampant in the Black community, but it's not addressed as much.
Yeah, and then like what I try to do, I try to, talk about things that affect us within our community, man. I try to bring awareness to shit. I don't believe in skating around shit, man. This shit needs to be discussed. I don't care how we may feel like it needs to be said, it needs to be talked about, because we're not going to get anywhere if it's not being discussed. We can't just ignore shit.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I'm gonna hop off here, sis. I love these conversations. I hope you keep doing these panels. These are great. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna watch the replay because some stuff I missed, but this is a great topic and great conversation, and I appreciate your perspective.
No doubt.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right, you too. Hey, Shin. What's up, Silent J?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, what I was going to say to what MC was saying is sometimes it's probably the men the woman choose that don't want to do that stuff. And then plus, once damage has been done, it's been done,
Right. And the thing is, even if we don't subscribe to feminism, we're going to still have the same issues. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, within our race, we have to support one another. We have to be empathetic towards what we both deal with, man. We can't just ignore one for the other. Like, it affects us all, man.
Yes. Yeah, and then it's a thing of when you stop pointing the finger and just come together. You stop giving each other labels and you just come together. And I mean, yeah, the past is important, but we need to look towards the future.
No, it's like, I'm not trying to cause division. I want solutions. All I'm saying is, you guys gotta be, you guys gotta be sensitive towards us as well. Like, just like we've done towards y'all. We always listen to y'all. We always, anything goes on with y'all, we be in the trenches fighting for us, fighting for y'all. Like, there's never been a time where we didn't give a damn about Black men. All we're saying is, man, reciprocate that towards us as well, because we all in this together.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe, Dub.
Yo.
That's good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, no, I got a question. So what can Black men do to ensure that you guys feel understood and emotionally connected?
Just like be sensitive, like listen, like listen to us when we're expressing what we're going through. That's like how we listen to y'all, and we be supporting y'all. We're always there for y'all when y'all going through shit. Like, we're there. We're in the trenches fighting for y'all. anytime y'all get killed by the police, fuck with, we're in the trenches fighting.
So are y'all in the trenches alone? Are there black men there with you too?
Now, black men fight as well. But what I'm saying is we come to y'all defense, and all we're asking is for y'all to be coming to our defense as well. Just as much as we do towards y'all. We've been doing this for years.
Were black men marching for Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you know, during the early stages, at the time, even though it was founded by black women, we just focus on things affecting the black men and neglecting black women getting killed by the police.
Right. So
not to acknowledge it all.
Would you agree that other cultures around the world are majority patriarchal societies, and that most cultures are beholden to the man?
No, we're in a patriarchy society.
Right. So anywhere you go, you're gonna be in a patriarchy. Something happens to the guys, people get uproar, they get in the uprising. It could be a male leader, could be a Jewish male leader, Palestinian, I don't know, Russian, whatever. Guy gets a whole plane diverted to Belarus or whatever. He gets arrested. The world is in an uproar. But it's a male-generated society, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's been like that for centuries.
Right. So
like James Brown said, it's a man's world.
So why does Black African American culture have to be different?
It's not about being different. It's like, okay, you know, like certain conversations are taboo in the Black community. Like, we'll talk about racism, but like we don't talk about other like we'll just skate around certain shit. Like it's taboo to talk about mental health. It's taboo to talk about sexism. It's taboo to talk about homophobia within the race. It's taboo. Like everything is taboo. Like a lot of shit. Like we avoid talking about. We try to ignore the elephant in the room, but it needs to be said. It needs to be talked about.
So who do you think is more homophobic in our culture? And I mean amongst us, Black Americans, only men and women. Who's most homophobic?
Honestly, I would say.
Be honest.
But you know what?
Dig deep. You know what you got to say. So the women.
No, I'm thinking. I'm
the
thinking.
minute they get mad at anybody, what do they call it? You're rough or you're gay, right? That's what most women will say to you when they get angry. That's the first shot they throw. You're gay, which starts off being very homophobic. However, the Black American culture is very accepting of gay people. When you go to the Black church, look at the choir.
It wasn't always. Yeah, it wasn't always like that though. That's what I'm saying.
It's been like that since I've been going to church as a little kid, and I'm
now. This is the thing. We always known gay people been in church.
There's always been sissies, right? And
yeah,
it's been accepted. We ain't never did nothing to
not accepted though. Not accepted. It was just one of them. No, it's just one of them unspoken things. Like we know, okay, this person's gay. We, you know what I mean? It's not.
Wasn't nobody beating up on those sissies and making them feel bad about being a sissy. We just knew the little boy was funny or the little girl was different, and we gave them the same plate of food that we gave everybody else. Go sit your ass down and eat. So I don't know where this Black homophobic thing came from, but I know that in our community.
I don't think we're more or less homophobic than any other group of people, but like,
no, I think some people.
No, that shit. When it comes to homophobia, that shit really stems from the church. Really, when it comes to that, because the church is like our culture,
and that's a matriarchal culture.
But who's running church though? The Black man. Yeah, there's more Black women.
No, you have a Black preacher, but the administration and the kitchen and the ushers and everything else is Black women. My father run a church. I know.
Yeah, they have a hand at the church, but they ain't taking on leadership roles. That's gonna always be the black man.
They're not taking on the figurehead role.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of people use men as figureheads. And let me go back to that thing about y'all. Y'all said something about the Black Panthers. And you said black women were ignored back then. I don't believe they were ignored. I believe that they were doing other administrative work and that the men really didn't want them on the front lines holding guns and fighting dogs and stuff with the police. That's really not a job you would want your wife to do.
Yeah, I mean, some women felt like, well, shit, I want to take on some leadership roles. Some of the women felt like that.
They did feel like that, and some of it disrupted the movement. Some of it led to infiltration. Others led to what you would call feminism, which I don't know. It might have worked back then. Is it working for you guys now?
Honestly, we're in an unknown tough spot right now. We're just trying to figure out shit at this point.
So what do you believe the ideologies of feminism can do for you today?
At this point, I just concentrate on what's going on within my race. I'm not hell bent on everyone else. I'm concentrating on what's going on within my race, the black man, the black woman.
Oh my God, Holly, how did Randy SoCal find you?
What's that?
You don't know Randy SoCal? Yeah, there's no deleting him. Y'all can you can try to delete that troll as much as you want. Randy SoCal is a dude from the West Coast. He's got no facial hair. Yeah.
Well, that's the first time I encountered that person.
Yeah, he'll be around much more. Sickos. All right. Wow, I got sidetracked when I turned on the damn chat room. That's how bad he is. This feminism stuff. But still, yeah, what is it like? How do you think any of it is gonna work in the future? As you guys said, like men are not in the household, marriage numbers are going down. Childbearing men or men with children, that number has actually gone down. How does one feel to fix anything with feminism?
For me, I still believe in family. I don't, you know what I mean? I just think
But you want to be the head of the household?
No, not necessarily the head of the household. Just living a peaceful fucking life where we're just respecting one another, we're supporting one another. Just a harmonious household.
Well, that comes with companionship and people know how to treat each other.
Yeah, like that's my ideal family.
But what about for everybody else?
Everyone's different. Everybody has their own relationship dynamic. So
if you're preaching some of the feminism, you believe that these ideologies should be spread amongst our black community. When you find yours, you good? Like, all right, y'all, you on your own with this feminism stuff? I'm happy now. Is that how that works?
The thing is, we can't change everybody's mind. That's the only thing about it. Like you can have certain opinions or belief system, but it's not gonna change anyone's mind. At the end of the day, people are gonna still do what they want to do.
That is true. Either way, that was good chopping it up with you. I just had those few questions. I missed Elm City. I was doing something, but I'm back in the chat, and I hope the British people still hate me.
Okay. All right. Hey, Silent J. You still here? Silent J. Oh. So yeah. Anyone else want to hop on panel before I log off? Okay. Hey, Freddie.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you this question while I was up here.
Okay.
Since the guy has no say in abortion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes two to make the child, right?
Right.
But you agree that the guy has no say in abortion because the female is carrying the baby for 9 months, right? So
Right.
let's say the guy doesn't want the child. The female wants the child, but they both had consensual sex, right? And
Right.
let's say the guy doesn't want the child. The female wants the child. And you're a feminist, right? You agree about equal rights. Shouldn't there be some kind of law where if the guy doesn't want the child, but the female wants the child, so she refuses to abort the child? Shouldn't there be some kind of law where the guy doesn't pay child support?
I mean, there's actually a way for a guy to relinquish his parental rights
and not pay.
So I gotta look into that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, if you follow logic, it takes two to
I mean, yeah, I mean, but the thing is, men. Let's be real. Men who don't desire to be in a child's life, they're still paying child support, but like they don't have an active relationship with them, the kids.
My thing is, why should they have to pay? If they don't want the child, they're making it clear, hey, I don't want this baby, but they have no say. Only you have the say. Why should they pay? It's your choice at that point. At that point, it's your choice, right?
Because I'm gonna tell you,
clearly telling you no.
This is how society looks at it. Kids deserve to be financially supported because kids in the they're looking at it that way.
I just said told you no. You want the baby. Now it's up to you.
That's on that, and that's up to the woman. You knew the guy didn't want the kids, so I mean, it's up to you.
And I'm saying there should be a law. There should be a law because that doesn't make any sense. If I'm telling you, hey, no, I'm not ready for a kid. But you could say yes. You're gonna make me ready. God damn.
I mean, you just relinquish your rights. Right? If you don't want to be a dad, you don't want the responsibility. Just relinquish your rights.
But I still got to pay for 18 years or whatever. It's messed up. But yeah, that's my only question. Since you're a feminist, you want equal rights. I hope you all petition for that law to be passed. That's all.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Great show. I just hope you understand that it will never ever be equal. Both our genders are different.
Listen. Hey, it's not. Listen, we're all gonna do what we want to do at the end of the day. We can't change everyone's minds. We can have. Listen, we all have opinions. We all have beliefs, but it's not gonna change anyone's minds. At the end of the day, people are gonna do what they want to do.
Yep. I'm still going to believe wholeheartedly that women have more rights than men. And you got some more privilege. I don't know how much more rights you want. How much more? I mean, it doesn't get better than being able to commit a crime and get probation or 1 year. Those teachers who molest their students and get probation or 2 years.
And I've actually spoken on that. I don't think that's cool.
That's crazy. You want more rights? You want more rights than that, Ollie? Damn. God damn. But yeah, it was a good show. I'll keep doing more shows like these. I know they're gonna hate on you, but fuck it.
Shit, I like these topics.
Yeah, me too. More people calling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, hold it down, Ollie.
No doubt. But yeah, man, I just love having these taboo topics, because I know it's going to cause controversy. But you know what? That makes great content, though. So I like to talk about things that's controversial, what have you. If anyone want to hop on the panel, there's my link. But yeah, and I know, Yeah, and the thing is, I know not everybody's gonna rock with the whole feminism shit. Like, because it's always gonna be a controversial thing, that F word, man. If I was to just say, listen, I fucks with women's rights or whatever, I think people would be more so accepting of that. Just don't say the F word. Because some reason saying that word feminism ruffle feathers, man. I'm trying to tell you. It really does ruffle feathers. just by using that feminism term. But if you think about it, when I say I'm a feminism, if you listen to me, you know what I mean, talk and stuff, you know, I'm actually living up to that word, because feminism is about equality of the sexes, right? So if I'm bringing up shit, the fact that older women get away with molesting boys and shit, and they get a lighter sentence versus a grown ass man messing with underage girls. Like, I speak on that. I speak on the discrepancies and how wrong that is, and I also speak on how wrong it is for a man to put his hands. I mean, fuck, not that, but women putting their hands on a guy. I have spoken how wrong that is, and that no one should be putting their hands on each other. I've spoken on that. So really, I'm really living up to that term, feminism. If we believe, if feminism definition is about equality of the sexes, I mean, I am being fair. Like, I have spoken on the fact that men, you know, don't have an avenue to express their feelings or emotions. It's like, if a man show any type of feelings or cry, like he's seen as a pussy. And it's like, nah, like, you should be able to express your feelings like a woman can. Like, why should you bottle your feelings? And I think that's why men have the highest rate of suicide, because they bottle their feelings up, and they shouldn't. They should be able to express themselves. A variety of emotions, because you all have feelings. It's just society telling y'all to not have feelings and be a man. Don't cry. Like, that's not good for you mentally. You have to be able to express yourself. So no, I don't hate men. Far from it. I love men. I mean, if anything, all I ask, man, we just got to understand one another. We have to be we have to be empathetic towards each other, man. Because patriarchy has done a number on both of us. Men have to live up to strict gender roles. And I feel like it's limited, because it's like, I know y'all have feelings, but y'all try to bottle shit up. But it's not healthy to do that. It's not. And that's all I'm saying about that. Because one thing about me, I've always been fair. I've always spoken out on both parties. And it's like, just because I speak on things, you know, pertaining to women's issues, a black woman's issue, don't mean I hate men. Like, nah, I'm just bringing awareness to the voiceless. That's all. And I don't expect anyone to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? We're all gonna stick to our beliefs. Like, we're not gonna be able to change everyone's mind. But it's just good to have a discussion. You know what I mean? It's just good to talk about shit. That's all. So yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. But I appreciate everyone stopping through. Appreciate the support. You all have a good Memorial Day and stay safe. Peace.